Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic with the cynic. How is everybody doing this evening? All right, let's go ahead and get this link out on Twitter. Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's had a good Monday. Mondays suck. The weekend was just so nice. We had some really great Star Wars articles over the weekend. Monday starts, and now we have just the same old political SJW nonsense Star Wars news. So, oh man. And also, too, I just got a notification. So I think Jessie Milestone is on day 5 of her like trying to do 10 straight days of live streams. So I'm competing against that. I know that Ethan Van Sciver has like a panel of like 20 people on right now. So if we can get our regulars in here, I think that would be fun. I think we'll have a good time. So yeah, how is everybody doing? Let me go ahead and pull up the chat. Let me go pull up the chat. How is everybody doing tonight? Man, I had a whirlwind of a day because not only is my voice just exhausted from dealing with 6 and 7-year-olds once again. I mean, I had 26 last session. I have 16 this session, but they're like the cream of the creme. They're like the creme de la creme. They're the ones who all have some kind of, or at least most of them have some kind of an issue. And it's just not fun. It's not. But you know what? We do it for the kids. We do it because sometimes we have to. And yeah, so as you saw in the title, cookies. Oh, that's me going live right there. We already got 4 likes. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me go hit the live chat up. Let's see. Gizmo87. Sup, Odin. What is up, Gizmo? How is it doing? Welcome back to the chat. Greta got here early. Greta, you were here on time for once. Let's give it up for Greta in the chat, everybody. She is amazing. She is our in-house SAG member, our Hollywood star, and we love her so much. Live Free, so many of my favorite streaming at the same time. Again, I know, literally as soon as I was about to get on, I saw Jessie just post on Twitter that she was going live and it's day 5. I know that her live streams lately have been relatively short, so if you want to watch it now, go right ahead. If you want to wait and maybe watch it later since you know it might be short, again, whatever you're feeling right now, Live Free. Tina, what is up, Tina? Another one of my favorites in the chat. Tina says, evening, no notification this time. Just had a timer set when I saw when you were coming. Way too many people streaming right now. I know, it's freaking insane how many people are streaming right now. Again, I didn't plan for it. I told y'all last night I was planning on doing it tonight. And I tend to do it around the same time, between 8 and 8:30 Central Standard Time. The latest is be 9 o'clock. The reason why I try and do it 8:30 is because that gives my dogs enough time to, be out and about and not be, cooped up all night. But then also gives me time to stay on and dedicate an hour and a half, 2 hours, what we've been doing lately, 2.5 hours. And, it's been fun. So that's the reason why I do it at that time. So if that time ever doesn't work for anybody, please let me know. Private message me if you maybe have a suggestion saying, hey, maybe you think you could do an earlier live stream, because I do get home earlier from work, and that's usually when I make a video. But if y'all would rather me do a live stream earlier, that could work as well. Again, I'm always willing to work with you guys because y'all are the reason why I'm here in the first place. But Tina, glad that you're here again. Super. Hey, Odin, would love to stay, but Comicsgate is exploding on EVS's stream right now, and I gotta watch. Have a great stream, my dude. Super. I totally appreciate it. Thanks for joining, and I totally understand. Again, anytime there's other streams going on, I totally understand if you have to split yourself between the two, or when you want to dedicate yourself to one over the other. Again, it happens. I mean, that's what happens when multiple people are, streaming, especially people who are, I really respect, because I really do love EVS. I love Ethan Van Sciver. I love all the work he does. And he's got a gigantic panel dealing with Comicsgate. I don't really know what's going on with Comicsgate. Maybe someone in the comments can let me know what the deal is with Comicsgate. Just give me the 411 on that, and I would greatly appreciate that. But super, you're always welcome in the chat. So I'm sure we will probably, if I could imagine, there's a good chance that we'll be streaming longer than they will. There is a lot more of them, but also Ethan Van Sciver's screens on his own channel tend not to be that long. So we'll see. Stephanie B, my mod, what is up? Stephanie B, rocking the wrench. Hello. And actually, while I'm here, let's see. I want to see if there's a way we can play around with this in particular, if we can play around with this, because I would love to be able to change the wrench into something else. This is something that I plan on looking further into, because I would love to find out all the ins and the outs. If I can get the mods more power, I think giving Stephanie more power is always a good thing, because Stephanie knows how to use her power for the best, for the wise. I would say I think that she is a very great mod. Even though she's only been on it for one night, she rocked it last night. She took care of Brad Noble, who is indeed our pet troll, and she's freaking amazing, and I love her. So Greta says, hey, hello, everybody. Donald Hudson, what is up, Donald Hudson? Welcome to the chat. Thank you. This is the first time I've seen you in the chat. So great video last time. Feeling great tonight. Well, thank you very much for appreciating that video, and thanks for joining us tonight. Hope you were able to have some fun. Miss Garbo, yes, indeed. Navy, yes, Navy, thank you. Oh, my goodness. So Navy was really sad he was not able to make the stream last night, but he is here tonight, and we are so excited. So Navy, what is up? Hi there, Asgardian. Hello, my fellow Asgardian. Welcome back. Welcome back to the chat. Navy, so you may have missed it, but Stephanie has been boosted up to be a mod or a member of the Valkyrie, as I am now calling them. And we might give another one of those out tonight. Who knows? We'll see what happens. And the digital cookies will be given out as always. Navy says, had Stephanie become a mechanic? Yes, pretty much. She has at this point now become a mechanic. Let's see, because Navy says, great stuff because I broke my car broke down. Yes. Let's see. System Error says, Odin, can you act as if you've seen something terrifying when you read this? Please be convincing. I hope that was enough for you. For anyone that like was like clicking on for a second, they'd be like, what the hell are these people watching? Owen says, just watched your video on the poor Whittle Snowflake crying all over the big bad bullies who are ruining Star Wars fun. Yes. Oh my goodness. It's like a freaking manifesto. Like it is insanely long. Like I opened the article and I saw like the first paragraph and I thought to myself, oh, I can dive into this. Because usually what I try and do is I try not to read them because I'd rather give my honest first impressions rather than, have something planned in advance. And, some people like that. Some people hate it. Again, I had someone in the comments suggesting, saying, have you ever thought about working with a script? And I'm not against working with the scripts, but I personally just like speaking off the cuff. But when I was reading that article, it came to the point where it was just going over, like it was so freaking long. I couldn't watch it anymore. So yes, it was just, oh my goodness. These people, the best line that for me, and I mentioned this in Twitter, the best line in that article for me was when he said that, there's people who disagree with him. And because he thinks they're all racist and sexist, he feels that he is high and mighty enough to just be able to ignore them and not actually engage them in conversation, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of your message. If I'm right, if you're trying to say that you're right, and you can't defend it, and you can't, go against someone who disagrees with you, and you just will say, oh, well, I'm right, and they're just a sexist and misogynistic person. It's like, well, I'm sorry, but you've lost the argument at that point, because if you're just going straight to name calling, you really don't have much to stand on. And we see that happen all the time on Twitter as well. All right, so Navy says, okay, cool, see her in Valhalla then, absolutely. Donald Hudson, we have a pet troll, can we pet it? Yes, our pet troll is a man named Brad Noble. He comes to the chat all the time. He likes to grade people. He cooked a beautiful pork shoulder that he just made, he sold so well, and I really wanted some of it, but unfortunately, of course, he wouldn't share any of it with us, but he's kind of one of those things where he trolls the chat, but he's also a really good guy, so we call him our pet troll. So be careful. I don't know if you want to pet him just quite yet. Stephanie says, I saw Brad in the GNG chat. Well, again, I'm not surprised by that, but I believe that chat has ended, so I don't know if he's gone over to Ethan Van Sciver or not. So hopefully we'll see Brad in. Hopefully not is probably the more accurate statement there. He says, good evening at the pool tonight. We got kicked out for thunder. Ooh, that's never fun. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, here in New Orleans, it's like it's starting to storm. And there's a story that I have to share with you guys as soon as I catch up on these comments. Basically, me and my neighbor have been kind of at a proxy war for ever since we moved to this house over a year ago. And something happened today that just really had me angry. And I think I might try and see if Nemesis joins the chat, because I think he'll appreciate it a great deal, seeing that he's been trying to make me curse on air, which is something that I just for my own sake, I don't want to do for personal reasons, for professional reasons as well. But I might wait for him to get here to tell that story, because it is a good one, I think. And hopefully y'all be able to connect with me. Navy says, looked more like you had gas or sniffed a fart, says Navy. Yes, Donald Hudson, Geeks and Gamers. Donald Hudson, you don't know what Geeks and Gamers is? Dude, almost every single person here, I feel, has come from Geeks and Gamers, like either from being shouted out on Jeremy's channel or being connected, like in as I suggested video for Jeremy's channel. Basically, it's just it's amazing Star Wars community. They also talk about, movies and television and pop culture. He does live streams as well. He's a really cool guy, I think. He's actually someone who he's supposed to be coming into New Orleans over the next month or so. And so we're planning on meeting up and, grabbing lunch or something like that. So go check out Jeremy. His Twitter handle is @DDayCobra, and his YouTube channel is @Geeks and Gamers. So definitely check that out. System Error says, Odin, I could taste your fear. Okay, good. I'm glad you could taste the fear. That was for you. I was trying to put my acting face on. So let's see. Gizmo says SJWs can dish it out, but they can't take it. Exactly. And even what they dish out is usually so hollow that can you really say that they can dish it out? Because for me, when I say, oh, that man can dish it out, it means, oh, they are on point, or, oh, they really know what they're talking about, or, oh, they have something intelligent to say. And I don't feel like a lot of SJWs fit up to that, because they basically will just, someone will say something to them. You'll say, oh, you're just a troll. And then someone will come back and say, no, why aren't you engaging me? And then they'll either block them or call them a racist or sexist. And that's pretty much all they have. It's really sad. It is really, really sad. Stephanie B says, Alien is probably here. Guys, Alien is always here. Alien is a member of this chat community, has been since the very beginning. And Alien is awesome. Alien will just randomly come in and say, hi. Hi, everybody. He just wants everyone to know that he's still there. And at the best, though, is he'll stay quiet for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then as soon as everyone's saying goodbye, he'll jump in and just say, bye, everybody, or goodbye. We love Alien on this channel. He's awesome. Rat Boy, yes, Rat Boy, welcome. Glad you can make it a little bit earlier than usual. So Rat Boy says, Rat Boy has arrived. Where is Brad? Stephanie P, give him the boot already. Nobody puts baby in a corner. No, she has not yet. We're still waiting on Brad Noble. Apparently, he was seen in the wild earlier on a Geeks and Gamers channel. Geeks and Gamers live stream. So we'll see if he comes back. We'll see if he appears out of nowhere. But you know what he is with Brad Noble. He's our pet troll. So, we love him. He's always welcome here. But, sometimes we can't find him, because that's what trolls do. The trolls like to get lost like that. System says there was an even worse article from the Telegraph when Solo went floppo. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all, especially since I think it was you, System, who reminded me that the site that I was talking about in that video was owned by, I think it was like The Guardian, a lot of like the UK liberal, liberal spin rags. So it definitely makes a lot of sense, though, that those are the stories that they're putting out there, which, again, I have no problem if you have a liberal, stint, but at least recognize that you do, and also at least respect the other people who have a different opinion than you, and don't just paint them as a racist or a sexist, because, again, very, very small, very small amount of people are actually racist and sexist. Everyone else is just a normal person trying to get by, just enjoying life as it is, see people as people, and don't really care what they, where they come from, what they look like. And that's what most of us feel. I know that's how I always approach life. It's again, hey, you do whatever you need to do, and just keep me out of it. Navy says, must be so great for them to be so high and mighty. I know, right? They're so high and mighty, and yet they can't win an argument. They cannot win even a simple Twitter argument just by, stating their point, just by stating what they believe in. I mean, it's one thing to say, oh, I love The Last Jedi, and here's the reasons why. Let me break it down for you. I respect that. And I love when I see those. They're very rare, but I love when I see those conversations on Twitter, because you have two people who both saw a movie, who both analyzed the film, and are just coming from it in different angles. And when they can eventually agree to disagree, it's really awesome. It's really great. But then when you see those other ones where you have one side saying, this is why The Last Jedi sucks, and then everyone else is coming back with, oh, well, that's just because you're a racist, or that's just because you're a sexist. There's nothing really, there's nothing constructive there. Egg says, Ryan Johnson was being a man baby today. When is he not being a man baby? I mean, he's painted everyone else as man babies. So I think calling him a man baby at this point, since he's the one that pretty much brought that word into the mainstream when talking about Star Wars, why not? System Error says, System Error says the headline was boycotts, bullying, and bigotry, a history of Star Wars fans. I laughed and I didn't read. I do not blame you, because I guarantee you probably had something to do with the Kelly Marie Tran situation, which, again, for the record, once again, because no one else seems to be wanting to be honest about this, there has been no confirmation and no proof whatsoever that Kelly Marie Tran was bullied off of Instagram. Now, if it happened, we all condemn it wholeheartedly. No logical person supports bigotry and supports sexism of any kind. No person of common sense, of the vast majority of people in the world, especially in the United States, anywhere in the world, we do not condone it. We condemn it. The problem is that we don't have confirmation that that's what's actually happened in this case. All we know is that she got off of social media, that even when you suspend your Instagram account, which a lot of actors do when they're about to film projects, so as not to be distracted, but so also as not to possibly put any leaks out there as well. And very well could have just been that be the case, but she has not come out and said anything about it. So I still don't know why people are talking about it. Uh, Uncle Mano. What's up, Uncle Mano? Welcome to chat. That's a new name. I'm a newbie to Celebration. Any tips? So I think you're talking about Star Wars Celebration. I've actually never gone as well. I would have loved to have gone this year, but tickets went out very, very quickly, and now they're just so damn expensive, and I don't have the money to go. And I would really love to go, because not only would I love to just, see all the different Star Wars fans and be a part of that Star Wars movement, but also it'd be really cool to run into people like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and, Ivan Ortega, because if y'all haven't seen, there's a Geeks and Gamers video. There's two videos, because Jeremy did a separate video of just this last part of the live stream that Ivan Ortega was a part of, where all of the people were giving super chats, and they were to fund Ivan to actually go to Star Wars Celebration. So knowing that he's going to be there and everything that he's done with Star Wars Last Jedi and the recut that I cannot wait to see, it sounds freaking amazing. I really do feel that Celebration will be amazing this year, only because all of those people will be there. And I think that all of the meetings, not only at Celebration, but even more so, all of the meetings that they probably will bring about after Celebration will be really, really fun. It will be really great. So yeah, I'm really sad that I'm not going to Celebration, but you know what? I'm going to be following them. Hopefully it'd be really cool if they could do some live streams of all the meetups that they do, because that'd be fun. Gizmo says, that's the Telegraph. All right. Yep. Gizmo says, I'm thinking of going to Celebration. Chicago's only 6 hours away. Again, I wouldn't mind going, because I would love to go to Chicago. I'd love to have a reason to, take some vacation. And I feel like it would be a lot of fun. Again, I think there would be a lot of really cool, common sense Star Wars fans who just love the Star Wars universe, who can not only appreciate the films with me, but then also teach me as well. That's one of the great things about this live stream, is that there are so many people who are so steeped in the lore of the extended universe of Legends that they're able to teach me things pretty much on a daily basis. And I always love it. I always appreciate it. So it's fantastic. Let's see. System says Telegram. It should be called now. Telegram. It should be called now. Yeah, I don't get that. That is definitely a UK joke, because I don't get that. Tina says, oh, he was ranting away, and he says he hated being lumped into a group, but he didn't mind lumping us into his narrow group. Exactly right. I mean, not only do we have everything else that we could possibly say against these people, but then you also have the fact that they're just hypocrites. They really are. They say, I hate when I'm lumped into this group. Like he criticized the fact that people call him an SJW, and that they call him a liberal, and that they're, that he's being defined in this way, and yet he's defining everyone else as a racist and a sexist. So it's like, well, what's the difference? Oh, wait, that's right. You were saying racist and sexist and not having any idea what it actually means, while we are calling you an SJW because that is what you are. And people say, oh, SJW, what does that mean? SJW is really clear. It means you have a liberal philosophy, which again, in and of itself, if you have a liberal philosophy, we can agree to disagree. We can respectfully have conversations about our own political philosophies. But an SJW is someone who is liberal, but wants to force that liberal ideology on someone else, or wants to label everyone else as racist and sexist. And so I was reading his article saying, because that was one of the first things he mentioned, is like, I don't like being lumped into all these different groups. And I was like, well, you know what? Maybe they did that unfairly to you. Maybe you're really not that way. But then as you keep reading, you realize, wait a minute. No, every single line that you've said since that first paragraph has been confirming that you are indeed not only a shill, not only an SJW, but also a hack as well. Like this guy was just ridiculous. So check out that video if you want. It's just, oh my goodness. I couldn't read all of it because it was literally like a manifesto. It was an SJW manifesto, which I don't recommend you reading because it's going to cause a lot of anger. And I just have so much anger in me today. I just couldn't go any further because I probably would have blown up on camera even more so than I usually do when I'm doing those videos. See, Navy says, just play some really loud music. That always does a trick regarding your neighbors. Yes, I agree with you, and I'll get into the story in a second. But yes, my plan going forward, though, is I'm actually charging up. So I have like a few different pairs of Bluetooth headphones, and I got one like really, really cheap. It was on sale not too long ago. It was like for $7, and actually works pretty well. So I'm charging that up right now. My plan from this point forward is to literally go outside. Anytime I go outside, I'm going to be rocking headphones, jamming out to music. So definitely gonna take you up on that. Tunnel Hudson says subscribed, just making sure that's the short that's the short using LOL. Well, I'm glad that you subscribe. So absolutely, thank you so much for subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. And also, guys, I don't know if you've been following me on Twitter today, but I am now at a little over 900 subscribers. So what that means is that in less than 100 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a live stream dressed as a Wookiee wearing my Chewbacca onesie. So again, that is what will happen. If we can get to 1,000 subscribers, the day that we get to 1,000 subscribers, no matter what, I will do a live stream for however long I can. And I will have to do the whole live stream in my Chewbacca onesie, since I know, since that is now, we decided that last night, since that is what y'all wanted. So look forward to that. Again, if you want to help that out, you can go ahead and spread my videos or this video or anything really to your friends or to anyone else and say, hey, just give this guy a sub. Let's get this guy to 1,000. And again, when that happens, Chewbacca onesie. And also, I think within about a week or so, I'll be able to start putting together how I'm going to be doing giveaways on my live streams. Because again, my plan going forward is eventually, when I'm able to afford it, to be able to give away digital films, also be able to give away hard copies of the Blu-rays that I have and things like that, because I really want to do that for y'all using the digital cookie system. Gizmo says, I'm in 2 live streams right now. This one in Rebel Alliance, hosted by Reviews. I've never heard of that group. Is it good? Is it something that I should check out? I already know there's so much content that I can do right now, but Gizmo, I appreciate that I'm the second one of those live streams, because there's other live streams going on too, with not only Ethan Van Sciver, who's got like a mega panel on tonight talking about Comicsgate, which I still don't really know what that's about, but also there is a Jesse Milestone live stream going on right now. I don't know how long that's going to last for, because she's doing so much stuff. So most of her live streams have been relatively short, but we'll see. I know that a lot of people are being split in so many different directions right now. Will Last Name Guy, what's happening? We're just talking. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for my boy Nemesis to get in the chat. Actually, Steph, if you can tag in Nemesis on Twitter to try and see where he's at to come join, because once he's in, I think that's when I'm going to share the story about my neighbor and the the situation that happened about an hour and a half now at this point, because it's still got me freaking it's got me, oh my goodness, it's got me so damn frustrated. But Will Last Time Guy, welcome back to the chat. Let's see. Darth Scipio, Geeks and Gamers is too right-wing, pro-Trump for my taste. But again, he doesn't hide that. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not that he pretends not to be those things. And also, he doesn't let that fully affect his overall content. Like, he'll mention it every now and then, but usually the only time that he mentions it is when other people attack him for just being some alt-right wing conspiracy theorist nut. And so I feel like it's relevant to that discussion when those are things being brought up. But most of the time, he keeps politics pretty much out of it. Again, when you're talking about people who are like SJWs, that's not really talking politics. That's just stating a reality of who people are. They're the personality that they're living up to. System Air says, yeah, Odin, you have tough primetime style streaming schedule competition tonight. Yeah, again, tomorrow is going to be even worse. So tomorrow night, they do the high council. So I think tomorrow we will do our second official low council. And I might try and do it a little bit earlier so as not to go against them, but I might do it anyway just to see if we can get anybody. So, and also Stephanie, I just got the notification from Twitter, so thank you for shouting at Nemesis. Thank you very much for that. Navy says, I remember a time when trolls were something from fairy tales. Man, I miss the trolls of fairy tales so much. It was so much simpler back then. Now we've got these just disgusting trolls who have no real valid opinions on anything. It's really sad. Let's see. Donald Hudson says, I usually watch Geeks and Gamers on my mainstream and you on my second. That's why I'm commenting more of this chat. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, again, I know that he streamed earlier and I know that he's been having some issues because he's got the entire house being set up and the air conditioning problem and everything. So I know that he streamed earlier, which I figured it was another reason why 8:30 should be good, because he's usually done streaming at this time. I had no idea that Ethan Van Sciver was going to get like this world-class group of people together for a mega live stream. And then also I thought Jesse Milestone, because most of her live streams have been earlier, so I didn't know that she'd be going live either, but we shall see what will happen. Yeah, please let me know what's going on in the Ethan Van Sciver live stream, because I have no idea what Comicsgate is really. It's all kind of, I don't really know what it's all about, so if you can let me know, I'd be greatly appreciated. Navy says, are there girl babies as well? Yeah, but you see, if you say girls' babies, you're assuming their gender, and so therefore it's hateful. And remember, we can't call women female anymore because that is hate speech. And so I think girl babies would fall into that same position. So no, we can't say girl babies. It's only man babies. In fact, the only people who hate The Last Jedi are white, middle-aged man babies. That's the only people out there, That's at least according to them. I don't know what their stats are, but I'd love to see them. That's right, they don't use stats because they'd rather just troll. System says lots of bubbling sexual frustration with these comic book lads spills into pissing matches sometimes it seems. Well, especially like they've got like 7 or 8 people on the stream right now. So that's just, to me, that's just almost too many people to have on a stream at one time. I think like 3 or 4 is a pretty good amount. 5 if you're doing like a huge chat, but he's got like 6 or 7 on right now, and it's insane. Navy says, let's not forget that in Vietnam, which is the country of trans origin, the trash joke did not do well either. Gizmo says celebration is $78 per day. The 5-day Jedi master package is sold. Okay, so just so what you're telling me is that the individual days are still available for $70 each, but the Jedi master package is what's sold out. Please confirm that in the chat, because maybe I'll consider going if I can afford it. If I can, because money's tight right now, so we'll see. 70 says that made me cry. I even could not believe it. I know, dude. It was just so awesome and humbling, like for that, just because he was just so humble about it too. Like he was the one that just could not believe what was happening. He was so thankful, and he's just been working his ass off. So it was so freaking great when that happened. Sism says these comic book guys are great though. They've been fighting in the trenches with the SJWs for years and have lots of fight IQ. Yeah, absolutely. Especially like Ethan Van Sciver. Ethan Van Sciver is just freaking amazing. Like I always love watching his stuff. He's always great, and it's just to have all those people together, just kind of fighting a good fight, I think is a really cool thing to see. Navy Lexa, no Steph. Sword of Damocles. What is up, Sword of Damocles? You are new to the chat, so welcome to the chat. Sword, how's it going? 70B says, hello, Sword. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, that ain't no lie. I think that's the wrong song, but that's the one I thought of every time I see sha-la-la-la. System Error says, UK joke explanation. We call the Guardian the Garandian or the Gran due to its historical reputation for poor spelling and attention to detail. Man, that is fantastic. We should really come up with some nicknames for some of these other sites, like Dork Side of the Force, which always have spelling errors in it, like every single time. We should come up with a different name from them. But because already it's Dork Side of the Force, so it's already kind of a misspelling of Dark Side of the Force. But I think we can do better, especially since they make a lot of mistakes. All right, Donald Hudson says, you can't lump this group. We come from all backgrounds. Exactly. Like Stephanie B, she is not a white male. Anna, that Star Wars girl, not a white male. Jesse Milestone, not a white male. Ivan Ortega, not a white male. Like, I'm sorry, like there are just so many, there's so many powerful people. Again, people who have a significantly more subscribers than I do, significantly more pull. And I would even say significantly more talent, especially with Ivan Ortega, who's just this amazing editor, that are not falling into this narrative. And so when they lump everyone together, it's just like, well, I'm sorry, I have all of this evidence in front of me to say that you are totally wrong, and yet you seem to be ignoring it, and it just doesn't make any sense. It is really frustrating for sure. Systemera says, and Telegraph became Telegran when it became like the Guardian. I really do appreciate that. Darth Zibia says, let's not paint all liberals or conservatives with a broad brush. Both extremes are valid. Exactly. Both extremes are valid. Again, on the far left, you have SJWs, who are terrible people. On the far right, you have what's now been dubbed the alt-right, who are also terrible people. Like, again, no one with common sense is going to deny those things. Unfortunately, it seems like common sense is very rare these days, especially in the camp of the SJWs. That's for sure. Will Last Name Guy says British humor is some of the best on earth. I totally agree. Again, some of my favorite comedy films of all time are come from, like, for example, I freaking love the film The Holy Grail. Holy Grail is one of my all-time favorites. Monty Python is one of my favorite groups of all time. I love their humor so much. Even their stand-up was really good. I mean, they've just done so many great things throughout the years, and so I love them. And there's a couple other too that come on top of my head, but I can't think of right now. But yes, British humor is freaking awesome, especially when it lands very well. Last name guy says UK humor actually. Oh well. All right, being very, very specific there. Let's see. 70B says, Odin the Humble, Chewy. Yes. So, guys, get those subs up because Stephanie B wants to see the Chewbacca onesie. I think a lot of people want to see the Chewbacca onesie. Says that as well. Susamara says, you're blazing towards 1K. Yes, thank you very much. Again, I think that, I at this point, I do feel like it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. I mean, it could be as soon as tomorrow. It could be soon as late as the 2 weeks from now. I honestly don't know. But just the fact that y'all are all here, that y'all have all subscribed, and for anyone else that might watch this later who subscribed, it just means so much to me. And I cannot believe that this is happening. Again, for the longest time, I thought, maybe I should make a YouTube channel. Maybe I should try get my voice out there. Maybe someone will like what I have to say. Maybe someone will, be able to connect with me. Maybe I'll be able to connect with, a group of people. And I always just pushed it off. And then, it was really Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers who was that final push for me to finally get started. And yeah, it's been great. I mean, I did videos for about a month, and now I've jumped into live streaming, and it's been amazing. I mean, I love doing these live streams every single night. And as you can ask anyone who's been in the chat for a very long time, especially my mod, Steph, I do these live streams almost every single night. I try and take a day off here and there just to rest my voice and enjoy time with the family and things like that. But at the same time, I do really think this is one of the best things that's happened to me, because y'all are all amazing. And so I greatly appreciate every single one of y'all. So thank y'all for being here. And again, I do really appreciate it. Navy says, if you haven't pooped in the Chewy suit, then I might pay you for it. No, I have not. It was a gift for Christmas. So once I wear it for the live stream, that might be something I do. Maybe I auction it off, or maybe I use it as a gift for the digital cookies. Who knows what I'll do with that. Sort of Damocles says, I'm not a groupie. I will judge on the actions. If you are here to have a mature chat, I am all for talking with the voice. Not the fist. Exactly. Again, if you're willing to have a conversation with me, even if you disagree with me, I will hear you out. Now, if I lay out an argument and you don't agree with it, and it comes to the point where, because there are definitely arguments where you come to a point and you recognize this isn't going to go anywhere. These are two people just fighting against each other, and there's no common ground. Because in order for two people to have an actual discussion, they have to agree with the basic premise. And so in debates, when you find out very early on sometimes that the basic premise is where one disagrees, well, then you can't go further than that. When I mean the basic premise, like the very smallest point, the very beginning of the argument itself, if that is where the key disagreement is, well, then no amount of debate is going to change either person's mind. And then at that point, it's just a brick wall talking to a brick wall. And I don't really think it's very conducive to, building up conversation. So that's the only time that I ever say, hey, I'm done here. I always try and be respectful, saying, hey, look, I just don't want to talk anymore. And if they try and keep on talking and then say, oh, you're giving up, that means I'm right. That's when I, start to fight back against that. Because, yeah, again, I'm all for, though, having good conversations. Well, that same guy says, Black Adder, anyone? I don't know what that means. Sora Damocles says, you can entice him with a cookie. You can entice me. Anyone can entice me with a cookie. I mean, if you send me, so how about this? If you promise to send me like a plate full of chocolate chip cookies that are fresh, I'll consider giving you my Chewbacca onesie. Maybe. We'll see. Uncle Mano says, I'm an OG. I saw A New Hope in 1977. I remember the lines around the block and the camping out. Anyone else there in 77? I was not. I was born in 1988, so I am an 80s kid. But I, of course, was raised with the original trilogy. I also, of course, because of that time, saw the prequels in theaters and liked the prequels a lot as a kid, because I feel like those were in a lot of ways more geared towards kids, or at least Phantom Menace was. And in retrospect, I'm not a huge fan of those films, which I've been very vocal about and very clear on this channel. But I would rather watch those because at least they're entertaining than the new Star Wars films. At least Last Jedi. That's the one where I really draw the line. I don't think I'd ever want to see it again. Gizmo says, but I saw it in 1977 on a 7th grade field trip. Dude, that's freaking awesome, man. Like that has to be like the greatest field trip that you've ever gone on in your entire life. I wish there was a film today like Star Wars that I could take the kids that I teach at school to, because I think that would be amazing. Tina says, Reviews for You is doing, I think, his first group stream. He's got Abu Nas and Stephanie Janacek. Oh, nice. I might have spelled her last name wrong with him tonight. Oh, man. So that's really cool. So, yeah, Abu Nas is someone who has gotten to Twitter jail recently, but he's a really awesome YouTuber, so check him out. And then Stephanie Janacek, I don't know her content very well. I know that she is also a YouTuber, so check her out as well, because I've heard really great things. But that sounds like a pretty interesting panel of people coming together. Well, that's something I says true OG. Gizmo, I can't believe our whole class could go on a field trip to watch a movie. They can't do that nowadays. Actually, they do. So I actually used to work at the AMC Elmwood Palace 20, which is here in New Orleans. And I used to work there as a supervisor. And so especially as a supervisor during the summer, we would deal with school trips, but during the school year, we would also deal with a lot of school trips. I guess no, for summer it would be more camp trips, but during the school year it'd be school trips. And there were several movies like of an educational value that people would go to and would take the students to go see. It's interesting though that most of the time it was a public school that did that, but we also had private schools that would do that as well. So they can still do it, but unfortunately there's just the movies that they end up going to see are trash. Like the last one I can remember that was at least educational from a historical perspective was Lincoln. Some students were brought to see Lincoln. I thought that was kind of cool. Stephanie B says, Odin the Humble. Stephanie, thank you. No, Stephanie, you are amazing. So I always appreciate when you say that. Navy says there are a lot of people in the left who dislike the current Star Wars films just as much as people on the right. Exactly. Again, it has nothing to do with political ideology. It has everything to do with how you approach your political ideology. Again, whether you're an alt-right person or an SJW, again, those are the two extremes. If those are how you approach it, then we're not going to get along on either way. Again, you can agree with me, but then as soon as you come out with something that is racist or is sexist, well, then that's where I say, okay, well, I disavow everything that you've just said because I don't think that has any merit. I don't think that's a good argument. But the same thing with the SJWs. If they just paint me or anyone else as a racist or sexist without actual evidence to the fact, then I'm just going to write them off as well. So yeah, totally agree with you. Tina says low council. Yeah, I usually tune into their show every Tuesday. I'll try to balance it out. Yeah, again, so I haven't decided for sure if I'm going to do the low council again because it actually did relatively well. I was live against the high council and it was not my plan because that night I had totally forgotten that the high council was coming on. So I had no idea, but I'd already committed to it. So I figured I'm doing it. I might as well. And we had like maybe 10, 11, 12 people in there. And I was very surprised. We had some really good conversations. So I'm considering it. I might try and do it before the high council though, just because I don't want anyone to feel like they have to go between the two. Navy says all people want are just great stories. Exactly. I've said this so many times before. We don't care about politics. We don't care about messaging. We don't care about identity politics or any of that nonsense. What we want are good movies and good stories. Now, if you have a good story that is about a certain character that some people might think is political, but it's a good story, then again, we'll like the story. Again, if something is good, we're going to like it. But if you're going to sacrifice a good story or a good character for the sake of some SJW nonsense, political identity, political ideology, identity politics nonsense, then no, we're not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it at the very least. 70B says girl babies. Well, last time guy says trolls simple. They're extremely strong and can regenerate nearly any wound. A fearsome opponent, to be sure. Not the trolls that we're talking about here, I would say. Internet trolls are not nearly as sturdy. Sizamara says, sorry, another UK joke. Odin should check out Blackadder, though. Okay, so I'll definitely consider that. Tina says, Odin, I kind of get the comics gate, but there are so many people in EVS stream right now, I couldn't keep track, and I like being called a lady, female, girl, woman. Well, actually, because that's what you are. I mean, again, that is what you are. So for anyone to take something that describes a person very accurately and say, oh, that's offensive, it's just like, no, now you're just grasping at straws. Now you're just proving you have no argument whatsoever. Gizmo says EVS streams going by so fast. And that's also why I do this stream. That's the reason why I keep coming back, is because I do feel like we have such a small, tight-knit community here that anyone is welcome to join. But because it's so small and tight-knit, we're able to all talk to each other very easily. The chat is slow so that everyone can talk to each other and comment and respond and all those things. And also, I get the chance to read every single one of your comments and add into those conversations as well. So I feel like it's kind of a way where like y'all meet in the chat, I read the chat, I respond, and then we all interact with each other in that way. And so that's why I really do like the format of my stream, but I also do like those because I feel like the content there is really, really good. But I can understand, like, I feel like a lot of people might get frustrated because they put a comment in that they really want someone to respond to or read. And sometimes it just like, you feel like, okay, well, I put my comment in there and then it just, disappeared into the universe. And I understand why that can be frustrating. Last name guy says Blackadder is among the finest comedy series of all time. All right, well, definitely that is on the list. So yes, Blackadder. So for anyone who's new to the chat, anytime that you suggest to me something that sounds interesting, I will write it down. There is a hold on books because I am backed up on book recommendations because I have my own books that I need to read. But TV and movies are up there because I have ways of being able to binge through those and get through them quickly. I'm currently I'm through 3 episodes of Luke Cage season 2. So that's where I am right now. And so hopefully I'll get through that and then be able to start getting into these lists and talk about those as well. Uncle Mana says Celebration Saturday, the VIP and the 5-day passes are all sold out. All other days are still available. Okay, so yeah, I'll look into that. But again, financially, I'm not able to, I'm just not in the position to be able to do that, because not only is those tickets, but it's also the flight as well. So we'll see. Again, it would be really cool. If they say they're going to live stream, though, I might hold off maybe until next year. Darth Scipio says, I'm new to your channel. How long have you been on YouTube? So I've been on YouTube for a little over a month now. I started making videos. One of the first videos I made, so my oldest videos are actually probably like a year or two old, and they are from times when I saw The Room, when I saw Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero do a live showing of The Room, and it was freaking amazing. So I recorded all of their Q&A and all the things that they were saying before and after the film. And so those are my first videos up there. And so then I decided got really pissed off. So I use MoviePass, which is a really, oh my goodness. So it's a movie subscription service that when it works and when I forget about how bad their customer service is, it's great, because you get to see a new movie every single day for $9.99 a month. And I actually got the year subscription on sale. So mine broke down to be like $6 or $7 a month. So I can literally see a movie every single day, and I only pay $7 for the month in retrospect. But one of the things that made me very frustrated is that their customer service is total garbage, and also their CEO is kind of an ass. So that is the reason why I've kind of fallen out with them in general. But the reason why I say that is because that was one of my first videos. One of my first videos was me voicing my frustration on that, and it actually did really well. And that, because of that, it kind of gave me the motivation to say, okay, maybe I'll start trying it. So I made a couple more videos. I made some trailer reactions. All this, I started following Geeks and Gamers, and I realized that, you know, the passion that Geeks and Gamers has, that Jeremy has, that Ethan Van Sciver has, is the same passion that I have as well. And so I thought, you know, maybe I can add something to this discussion. And so I started to record myself doing just that. And yeah, so I've been doing it for a little over a month now, and we're a little over 900 subscribers. And yeah, and once we hit 1K, I'm going to be putting on the Chewbacca onesie for the entirety of the live stream. But yeah, thank you, Darth Scipio. Thank you for joining us, and you are more than welcome here. Let's see. Random Game User says, Dork Side of the Farce, easy. Boom. Random Game User 42. Go check her out on YouTube as well. She does some awesome live streams and also some really great content as well. Go check her out. And yes, that is a very easy one for sure. Uncle Mano says, anyone else think that The Incredibles 2 is SJW? Have not seen The Incredibles 2 yet. I've heard mostly good things. So people who would know whether or not something is SJW did not really have that mindset to it. I feel like the trailers were trying to portray it in that way, and I'm sure there are some reviewers, there are some liberal SJW reviewers who are trying to spin the film to be that. But from what I've heard from them, it's a fun action film, and the action scenes are really, really good. So it's on my list of things to see. I hope to get to see it this week, so that way I can talk about it with you guys. All right, let's see. All right, Gizmo says, my mistake, the 5-day Master Jedi patch is sold out, as well as Saturday, but Friday, Sunday, Monday are still available for $75 per day. All right, again, gonna keep up with that. Let's see. Tina says, Odin rolling on the floor. The notification just dropped that you're live. Thank you, YouTube. Yeah, no, we're already like an hour into it, or no, not like 45 minutes into the stream, and then you then you get the notification. Thanks, YouTube. You're the best. 70B says Gizmo has the info. Okay, awesome to see. Will Astingham says common sense is rather uncommon these days. Yeah, it really is. I mean, that I feel goes even beyond the Star Wars universe. I feel like in everyday political conversation and everyday just general conversation with other people, with me and my neighbor, for example, common sense just kind of flies out the door. And it's really sad, because when you can have a common sense discussion with someone, because here's the thing, a discussion without common sense is an argument. That's kind of like my mindset, is that if you have common sense, if both people come into a discussion having common sense, it stays a discussion. It stays a thoughtful discussion, maybe even just a very thought-filled and respectful debate. But it turns into a fight. It turns into, just a bloodbath when common sense goes out the windows. That's a very, very, very good Sword of Damocles says, yeah, those coconuts together. Are you suggesting that coconuts migrate? Not at all. They could be carried. I could quote that film almost all the way through. Nemesis08. All right, Nemesis is here in the chat, so I'm about to share my stories. Let's see. Nemesis08 says, sits in the shadows waiting to pounce like a tiger. Until then, I want to hear this. Until then, I want to hear this story. And then Tina says, Monty Python fan from way back. Hey, I so appreciate that. I freaking love Monty Python. Life of Brian's really good too, but my all-time favorite is definitely Monty Python Search for Holy Grail, because there's just so many quotable things in there. So let me get to a couple more, and then I'll get into my story. So System Error says, I was totally thinking if he says Holy Grail, I'm going to high five him. So high five me through the screen. Odin, boom, you just got high five. Yes, System Error, you earned that. Nemesis has a smiley face. Let's see. Sword Damocles says, just be careful and do not go out in the wilds because the BFRO might tranquilize you thinking this Bigfoot being captured. Yes. Guys, I actually really like when y'all make fun of me like that for being so hairy. So I do really appreciate that. But yeah, me and the Chewbacca onesie with the beard, I have to be careful because someone might think that I'm Bigfoot. Donald Hudson says, 'tis merely a scratch. A scratch? Your arm's off. No, it isn't. Look. That's just a flesh wound. Oh my goodness, so many great lines. Sword in your Chewy suit says Damocles. Yeah, I got you. Last time guy says, do people still say lit? If so, this chat is lit. Some people do say lit, so yes, we will say the chat is indeed lit. Very much so. Donald Hudson says, you're missing an arm. Random gaming user says, I'm perfectly okay with disagreeing with someone as long as they don't resort to name calling. Exactly. Again, you can have a good civil discussion with somebody and you never have to call them a name. Any of the names that I've used so far is because the person that wrote the article or the person who responded to someone on Twitter started name calling and proved themselves to be an SJW. And I feel like an SJW, that's not name calling. That's just stating a reality. That's just stating a fact. That person has shown themselves to live up to the SJW philosophy because SJWism is essentially a philosophy. Again, it's a political philosophy that's just been tampered with in a lot of ways and has been so pushed far out of the mainstream that it's extreme. Let's see. Navy says politics is like Taoism. You need both yin and yang. Exactly. Again, both evenly pulling back at each other. You're absolutely right about that. Egg says fireworks at pool tonight. That's awesome, man. Enjoy the fireworks. Let's see. Darcy says, have you ever chewed tobacco as Chewbacca? Well, I'm straight edge, so I've never smoked a cigarette. I don't drink, and I've never done drugs. So that will not happen anytime soon. Now, if it's a candy cigar, that's when I might have to do that. So Will last time guy says name calling is the first sign that you've lost an argument. You're absolutely right. That and also another SJW tactic is they attack your grammar. They say, oh well, it's actually it's actually there. Spell with the apostrophe than the other one. And it's like, okay, so you're now just showing that you have lost the argument. All right, so 70B comes in and says, Odin the Humble, Nemesis is here. All right, let me get into the story. So I got home. We let the dogs out, having a good time with the puppies. And then I decided to get some stuff ready while they were eating. My trash can was overflowed, so I decided to, take the trash out. So I go outside. I, put everything in my trash can. And as I'm about to get everything set up to, pull my trash can off this ledge that I have near my carport out to the street, all of a sudden my neighbor comes out, or my neighbor's already out there. So my neighbor and I have had these bad interactions before in the past. So when we first moved into this house, we didn't have a lawnmower because we were newlyweds. We didn't have any of the new stuff yet. And so our grass was growing very long. And so I knew that it was a problem and I knew that we had to get onto it, but I was trying to work out dates with my dad because my dad did have a lawnmower and I wanted to make sure I wanted to mow it myself. We could have hired somebody, but I wanted to mow it myself because, for me, it's like, it's my lawn. I'm the one who should have to take care of it. And so I wanted to take care of it myself. And so, but also we had it where we were going to do it one weekend and then it rained. And so we couldn't. And so we had to schedule for the next weekend because my dad's a doctor. And so it's really hard sometimes to get those things on track. So anyway, all of a sudden, I'm walking out to my car one day, going to work, to school, and the woman who is my next door neighbor is just on the porch, and then she just yells at me from her porch saying, "You gotta mow that lawn. You gotta mow that lawn." And I said, "Don't worry, we're taking about this. We're gonna take care of it this weekend. I understand that it's long, but I'm gonna take care of it this weekend." And then she says, "Oh, you gotta mow that lawn." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so then from that point on like 4 or 5 different occasions, when I'd be walking to my car, as the car door was about to close, she would yell from her porch, you got to cut that grass. And it came to the point where it was almost harassment in a lot of ways. So finally the grass was cut. I haven't heard anything from her since up until today. Obviously at that point, I decided to ignore her completely. I'd always have music on whenever I'd mow the lawn. So that way I didn't have to hear her just spewing any of her nonsense. And I was just done with it. I was just so tired of it. I was just done. So at that point then, going on now to today. So I was bringing that out there. And then all of a sudden she and her boyfriend, I'm not really sure what's going on over there. They have kind of a rundown house and it's really I don't know what's going on over there. It's a really sketchy situation. I don't want to judge, but there's just something going on over there. So I'm pulling my, and this is filled with 2 weeks worth of grass, and grass down here in Louisiana grows very, very fast. My other trash that's in there as well. So it's very heavy. So as I'm trying to pull it, all of a sudden she yells at me saying, "You got to get those dogs to stop barking at night." And I just look at her and I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, your dogs, they bark at night. It's like, and in my head, I'm like, well, dogs do bark. It's one of the things that dogs do. They bark, especially if they see something, or especially if someone's talking. You know, a lot of dogs tend to bark. That's not an abnormal thing to happen. And normally when my dogs bark, what happens is that we will try and get them inside as fast as possible, because we know that a barking dog barking for 10, 15, 20 minutes can be really annoying. There's been situations where I've had family that they've had dogs in the neighborhood barking for hours. So we understand what that is. And so we always make sure to take care of it. But literally, we only let them outside when they have to go to the bathroom. And so I just said, like, no, that's not true. When they're locked up at night in their kennels inside, they don't bark. When, again, once they're in there, they're fine. They don't have a problem with it. And then she just kept insisting, saying, no. They oh, no, they keep barking. I was like, they got to stop barking. It's like, it's ridiculous. Blah, 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 blah. Like, just going off. And at that point, I kind of just started to tune her out. And I was just like, I don't understand. I don't know what you're talking about. I think you're wrong there. So then I start pulling. So I thought the conversation was over at that point. I think she mumbled something else. And so then I'm starting to pull my trash can. And then as I'm pulling the trash can, like halfway across my lawn, she yells back at me saying, like, basically thinking that the conversation is still going on, saying, it's like, well, if you don't take care of it, I'm going to call the cops on you. And I just was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, my dogs are not being a nuisance. We have other neighbors. None of them have ever complained. In fact, I told my wife about this, and we texted our other neighbor to ask, hey, like, are we a problem? Are our dogs a problem? And they're like, hell no. And she's freaking insane. Like, they literally admitted, saying, like, this woman is totally insane. And so it came to the point where I became so mad because this woman kept talking to me. So at that point, when she said that about the cops, I just ignored her. I didn't even look in her direction. I ignored her completely. I set up my trash can. I started to go back inside, and then she yelled another thing at me, just some nonsense, like, I'm going to do it or something. And at that point, I was livid. And so the reason why Nemesis is very pertinent to the story is because I had a profanity-laced conversation with my wife because I needed to vent. I had so much anger and frustration within me. And let me just say, a lot of bad words were said. I'm not proud of those words. Obviously, I said them in anger, but it still doesn't excuse them. But I just wanted to let Nemesis know that I am capable of it. So, keep on trying. Again, when I'm on these live streams, just because, maybe someone I work for might see one of these one day, or maybe one of my students might try and find one of these one day. I'm going to try and keep it clean while I'm here. But I thought, Nemesis, you might appreciate the fact that this woman drove me absolutely insane to the point of just cursing for a solid, like, 5 minutes, calling her all kinds of different names out of just the rage. I was seeing red because I was so angry. The fact that this woman threatened to call the cops on me because my dogs, when they happened to go outside for 5 minutes to go pee and poo, happened to bark a few times, which is just ridiculous. So one of my best friends suggested saying, next time that she says anything, to just say, go ahead, call them, do it, call them, just so that if she does decide to call them, she gets charged with a fake call or with a non-important call, or, exaggerating something. And also for me to be able to explain to police officer saying, yeah, this woman is insane. She yells at me very often from her porch, and it's not comfortable. I feel like it's harassment on her part, especially since my dogs are not a problem. In fact, you can go ahead and go to every other neighbor near me, and they'll tell you that my dogs are not a problem. But yeah, whew. Anyway, so luckily I got all that frustration out before the live stream, but I thought I wanted to share that with you guys. And Nemesis, I thought you would appreciate that, especially since off camera I had a tirade of cursing. All right, so System Error, getting back to the chat, I must be way behind at this point. So now I'm 20 minutes behind. So, oh man, this is gonna be a long one. All right, so System Error says, I laugh every single time I think of the dialogue, but you're gay. No, I'm not. What's great about that line too is that it's said so, like, off camera, that a lot of people might not catch it. And so it's just so great because it's so soft. I bet you're gay. No, I'm not. So great. So great. System Error says, funniest response to a gay accusation in cinema history. I agree with you. In fact, if anyone ever says that in real life, I'm going to just be like, no, I'm not. And see if they get the reference. Maybe it says Star Wars prequels were at least visually creative. Yeah, to an extent. to an extent. They were at least entertaining. Tina says, wait, who said Blackadder? I love that series. I love British humor. So yeah, so I've written that down. So I'm definitely going to check that out. 70B says, free Abu Nas. I totally agree with you. He's a really cool dude. So I really hope that happens. Donald Hudson said, my best friend and I don't agree on multiple topics, but absolutely love to debate one another about them, not fight. That's why we're friends. Exactly. Again, you're not going to fight somebody just because you disagree with them on a political point or even on a personal point. I mean, it comes into a fight when you become so close-minded that you're not able to just listen to them for a second, even if you disagree with them. Donald Hudson says, wait, are we trying to date the crowd here? Who remembers Fraggle Rock? I remember Fraggle Rock. I watched Fraggle Rock when I was a kid. In fact, I'm 29 years old, but I actually had a vinyl record of the Fraggle Rock soundtrack, and it was a prized possession that we would play on our table very, very a lot of times. Lethal Lightning, good morning, good sir. Good morning, good morning. Lethal Lightning also has an excellent YouTube channel, so please go check it out. We're going to try and do some collaborations in the future for some live streams. Could be some fun. 70B says, word. Uncle Mano says, greatest cliffhanger in movie history. Donald Hudson says, 70B, those are the best kind. Greta says, I envy all y'all for being able to live in that moment of film history. Yeah, me too. I mean, I wish I could have lived back in 77 when this first came about, because I imagine it was probably freaking amazing. Last name guy says, I mentioned Blackadder. We're going to get Odin to watch it. Yeah, it's on my list. Greta says, right back to you, Steph. I love the love in the chat. Says Mara says, Odin, get your pen. Blackadder goes forth. It's a masterpiece like The Office of its day. So yeah, I do have Blackadder on there, so I will definitely be checking out that series. So thank you for that shout. Random Gamer says, Blackadder, holy crap. Yes, get the whole series. We'll definitely check it out. Does anyone know if it's on Netflix? Just put in the chat, because I know I'm like 20 minutes behind now. Blackadder equals like Netflix or any other the places that it might be. System Error says, in terms of high quality, not thematically. Okay, good to hear. Yes, Blackadder is a classic according to Lethal Lightning. Very good to hear. Damocles says, maybe you like Allo as well, situated in occupied France, but all by British actors. Oh no. I love that. I love that movie so much. Oh my goodness. Yes, 70B, get Alien out of hiding, because we know he is here somewhere lurking around in the shadows, and Brad too, maybe. Let's see. What last name guy is Alien here? He's here. He's just hiding in the shadows, and that's where he's best. Navy says, will you ever wear a Jar Jar suit? Jar Jar suit? No, I do not have a Jar Jar suit, but if I ever get my hands on a Jar Jar suit, maybe I'll make that like a stretch goal of, if we get to X number, then we will do that. So hey, maybe that's what the funds, any funds that I might get from the channel, because again, everything is going to go straight back into the channel, whether it's through giveaways, which is going to be my primary focus. Also, maybe eventually investing in a higher quality camera as well for everyday videos and live streams also. But a Jar Jar suit, that could be put on the budget. So we'll definitely keep that in mind. Remind me of that if things start to take off in a way. Lilo says 1 month, damn, one of the fast growing channels around. Yeah, I think it's about a month and a half, maybe. I feel like my main videos started to come out like end of May. So yeah, we would be a little over a month now at this point. Yeah, I mean, it's been so insane. And I'm just so freaking thankful for every single person that's been a part of it. It's been awesome. Random says, thanks for the shout out. Absolutely, Random. You're amazing. Greta says, I enjoy Incredibles 2. I didn't find it SJW to me. All right. So Greta, I usually trust Greta on her opinions. So Greta says it's not SJW. So it sounds like it's a fun movie. Here, it's just not as good as the first one. But again, it's really hard to be as good as the first movie. The only one in my mind that does that is Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3, I feel like, is the best made Toy Story film. Again, I still love the original Toy Story, and a Toy Story 2 can be really good as well, but Toy Story 3, in my opinion, is the best. But I heard that Incredibles 2 kind of suffers from the same thing that sequels usually do, but that it's still great and that it still has some good action scenes as well. Lee Lang says Incredibles 2 makes fun of SJW. Well, I cannot wait to see that. That sounds fun. Donald Watson said, I'd wear a Darth Jar Jar suit. Me too. If I can get one, if I can get my hands on one, I totally would for a live stream. Damocles says Jar Jar suit is exclusively reserved to trigger SJWs. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Everyone's saying hello, hello, hello. Navy says Donald Hudson is the most powerful Sith Lord. Donald says he did destroy the Republic. That's awesome. That's awesome. Damocles, Jar Jar is the true Phantom Menace. That would be freaking amazing if they were able to like tie that in. Like that would be fantastic. Oh man, I got really bright there for a second. I was like it was like the light just shining all over me. Monty Python is amazing. Random says absolutely, it is so amazing. Smiles, 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 smiles. Let's see. 70B says system error needs a digital cookie. I am thinking about it. He is definitely up there for getting a digital cookie for the night. So absolutely, system error. Keep those chats coming. SJWs are like Officer Crabtree from Allo Allo Walking Jokes. I don't know that reference, so that's why I don't quite understand that, but I appreciate you nonetheless. How could anyone be a bad neighbor? It's so easy to be nice. Again, I know, like me, like we get along with every single one of our neighbors, and she's the only one. And since day one, she has always had this angry look towards us. She has always shown anger towards us. And my wife tries to kill her with kindness, and that's just that's not a part of my personality. Like if I get angry, I just want to, go out there. So yeah. Game user said, my response to her would be, you, the one that doesn't like it, you should mow it. Yeah, back then I should have said that. I really should have. There's so many things that I could say at this point, and I really just gotta, I really just gotta stay on my toes. Lila says I gotta jump off for a bit, making breakfast and whatnot. If you're still streaming later, I'll be back. Well, you said that last time, Lethal, and then you never came back. So really hope that you come back this time. But yes, I understand. Definitely eat your breakfast, man. Definitely enjoy that. Last name guy says, I wish everyone was nice. Alas, this is but a dream. I do too. I mean, it's so easy to be nice to people. It really is. It really is just so easy to be nice. That's why, again, I have never done anything wrong to her. I've never said a mean word to her. I've never, flicked her off. I've never done anything to make her angry except exist. And that makes me angry because at least have a justification. Like if I did something, like if I do y'all remember that old video back in the day? Like, you kicked my dog and now my dog need operation. Like it was like that old visual thing. I think it was like E-Bombs World had it. Like that's the kind of stuff that you should be legitimately mad about, or rather mad at me about, not just silly nonsense. Donald Hudson says, sounds like you got neighbors who like to make trouble. Yes, absolutely. They love to make trouble. Last time guy said, my dog was on barking fit for a minute ago. Again, dogs do it. Dogs do it all the freaking time. Like the fact that she's just like going crazy over this just doesn't make any sense. Somebody says maybe she has dementia. She very well might. She's not all there. Like there's something wrong with her. Like she's got like a speech impediment, and she's not like old. She's got to be like in her 50s. But there's definitely especially after today, I know that there has to be something wrong with her. Last name guy says, but every dog in the neighborhood does it, so nobody says anything. Exactly. Again, as long as they're not barking outside, like in the wee hours of the morning for extended periods of time, there's no problem. Again, if a dog goes out at 10 p.m. before going to bed and barks a little bit for like 5 minutes max, I don't see that as being a reason to say, oh, I'm going to call the cops on you. It's stupid. It's so freaking stupid. Jedi Starship, what is up, Jedi Starship? Welcome back to the chat. Navy says, do you honestly think that the police would spend their time on some old lady complaining about dogs barking? Yeah, exactly. That's what my best friend said. Either one, they won't even like acknowledge it. They just will say, this is stupid. That's a waste of our time. Like, no, I'm sorry. That's not legitimate. And also, if she was the one talking, something tells me they wouldn't be able to understand her a lot of the time, and so they would just say, oh, we'll send an officer back. We'll send an officer over there, and then they'd either never show up or they'd pass around. They would see everything's fine, and then they would say, oh yeah, we'll move on here. So yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous that they're complaining about that. It's so ridiculous. But also, too, my best friend said, but if they do go out there and they realize, oh, wait a minute, this woman is insane and nothing's happening, that they could end up charging her money for that happening. Rat Boy says, yes, let the hate flow through you. Again, that was my cis side really coming out during that. System says, great story, Odin. It's a lot like a Bill Burr story. I do like Bill Burr, so I appreciate that. Let's see. Nemesis says, I need to talk to this woman and find out your trigger. Nemesis. Dude, Nemesis is awesome, guys. Nemesis is Nemesis, you get the first digital cookie of the night, Nemesis. Y'all two together would just be a terrible, like, oh my goodness, no. You, my neighbor, and Brad Noble, y'all would be like the Sinister Three, and it would be terrible. Like, y'all would be driving me to like breaking my straight edgeness and like becoming an alcoholic and just cursing on like being one of those streams where it's just like F this, F that, like all night long. Nemesis, I appreciate you so much, man. The boyfriend too has dementia. The boyfriend, like slash husband, I don't really know what he is. Seems somewhat normal. He's very quiet. He's never said anything to me. The son is definitely off. We don't know exactly what's wrong with him, but we know that he's off. So I don't have a problem with him at all, really, because of that. She's just mean. She's just very mean spirited, and I do think there's something going on there. Jedi Starship says, thanks. Navy says, let your dog poo on her lawn. I just, again, part of me wants to feed the fire, but another part of me does not want to do that. And luckily with my dogs, they just take care of all their business in my backyard, so I never have to worry about that. But I have found dog crap on my lawn before, and they have a new dog, and yeah, I think it's probably from their dog. Let's see. Random says, let her humiliate herself. Let her call the cops. She probably will get arrested for something, probably. And also too, I mean, again, and before I say this, I want to make very clear, I have no evidence of this whatsoever, but they used to have a dog that was always outside, come rain, come shine, come freeze or not. No dog house, literally would be lying on the porch outside when it was cold. We would find the dog hiding under the house, possibly also hiding in their garage underneath random objects. And it was really sad because the dog had an obvious skin condition, just looked very ragged, looked very poor, very sickly. And so we very much thought that the dog was being abused in some way, at least being neglected in a lot of ways, but the dog was being fed. And, we really didn't want to push it that far, especially if we were wrong or anything like that. But then we had a freeze one night, a really bad freeze here in New Orleans. And from that point on, we never saw the dog again. And we think that, and later my wife talked to this woman because the woman is nice to my wife for some reason. I think it's just an act, but I don't really know. But apparently the dog did die, and then they got a new dog, and the new dog looks rather healthy for now. But if I do see anything happen with that, I'm going to keep an eye on it because I would love to report her for animal abuse, because I really do think that she neglected her other dog, and that's why she died. Again, I don't have confirmation of that. I don't have proof of that, but that's where me and my wife really do believe that, because we literally would see this dog outside every day, no matter what was going on. And it was really sad because this dog had obvious skin lesions and skin condition. It was really, really bad. Let's see. Donald says, careful in city limits. One neighbor can get you in trouble for noise complaints. Well, luckily we're in the suburbs, so we don't have that same that same worry. Again, so luckily we are in the suburb of again, we're not in the city of New Orleans. We are instead in one of the suburbs of the city of New Orleans, and so that's the reason why. Let's see. Jedi says, Odin chocolate chip or oatmeal cookies? Chocolate chip, man, dude. Is that even a question? Come on. Chocolate chip cookies all the way. Random says, I have all the Fraggle Rock DVDs. I watched it as a kid. Oh, man, I love Fraggle Rock. That's something where I would love to buy like the DVD or Blu-ray of that and show that to my kids at some point when I have kids. Let's see. Tina says, it used to be on Hulu, but I'm not sure now. Well, please let me know. Fraggle Rock was the best, says Will Last Name Guy. Damn right it was. Odin looks like a chocolate chip, man. Damn right I am. I love chocolate chip cookies. Here's another thing about me. One of the worst things that has ever happened to me in my entire life, dealing with food, let me clarify, is when I took a bite into what I thought to be a chocolate chip cookie, and it was an oatmeal raisin cookie. I've never fully recovered from that moment, and I don't like talking about it because it makes me very sad. And yeah, it was a bad day, because you don't understand the joy of eating a chocolate chip cookie and then finding out it's oatmeal raisin. It's hard. No, but yeah, seriously, one of the worst sensations is biting into a cookie thinking it's chocolate chip, and then instead it's oatmeal raisin. It's terrible. Live Free says Rainbow was great. If you mean reading Rainbow, absolutely. In fact, one of my stories that I wrote as a kid got featured on Reading Rainbow. So let me throw that out there. It was all about aliens of different colors. Two aliens that were both, there were two different aliens. One was red, one was blue. They fought against each other because they were not the same color. and then they worked together to fight against a red alien. So yeah, that was the young me, and I got featured on Reading Rainbow before I got a certificate for it and everything. Jedi says, "Haha, and the milk, man, that would be some beard stash every single time because I have chocolate milk every single morning for breakfast, and yeah, I have to wipe it away all the time. But oh my goodness." Chocolate milk and chocolate chip cookies are my freaking jam. Jedi Starship says, beard milk stash. Damn right. Will Asnick says, oh, important note, Odin, the star of Black Adder is Rowan Atkinson. This Mr. Bean. Guys, have y'all seen the new trailer for Mr. Bean? Mr. Bean is coming back, and this is probably one of the greatest trailers I've ever seen. So me and my wife are going to see Won't You Be My Neighbor, which is an awesome new documentary on Mr. Rogers, like on Fred Rogers. And one of the trailers before it was setting up for like the spy film. I thought like, oh, are they already starting to promote James Bond? It doesn't feel like James Bond, and it's amazing. And then all of a sudden you realize it's another Mr. Bean film. And no, not Mr. Bean. Sorry. Johnny English. It's another Johnny English film. And oh my goodness, Rowan Atkinson is freaking hilarious. Navy says, I think Pixar really missed out on the Monsters, Inc. prequel. Me too. I think it was good. I did like Monsters University, but I do feel they waited a little bit too long and that they could have done a little bit more. So I think they're in the works of making an actual sequel to Monsters, Inc. So with Boo being older, I don't know if that's just like fan rumors or speculation or something to that effect. I think a fan trailer was made, but I think that would be a really cool one to see. Let's see. Will last time he says, I'm not a fan of the prequels in general. Yeah, me neither. Jedi Starship says, I'm looking forward to seeing the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance series to air soon on Netflix. Are you guys looking forward to it as well? I did not know that was happening. So is that based off of the film Dark Crystal? Because if that's the case, then I definitely want to put that on my list. So please let me know that. Let's see. Navy says, wonder if we'll ever get an Up sequel. Again, I feel like that film ended perfectly. I don't think that film should be. I don't think that film should get a sequel. Again, I think the story is just so perfect by itself, and I feel like if they did a sequel, it would just be forced, and I don't like that. And also, too, like the first 3 minutes of that film is a better love story than any modern romance film that has been released in the last 20 years. Prove me wrong. Change my mind on that. Oh my goodness, everything with Ellie is just heartbreaking. I cry every single time I watch that scene. That's right, I'm a softie. Get over it. Darcipio says, get a Chihuahua for your next dog. They're quite docile. Just kidding, my Chihuahua is vicious. Damn right, I would not get a Chihuahua because at that point I would believe that my dog was causing a nuisance because those are little yippers and they just don't stop. Donald Hudson, what's a digital cookie? I see Stephanie B has answered that question, so I will go ahead and skip that for now. Well, last time guy says my Chihuahua is a little maniac. Yeah, they are crazy. Let's see. Yes, so Donald Hudson, right now they're basically, it's like Whose Line Is Anyway, where the points just don't matter. But on the day that I get monetized and some revenue starts coming in, I plan on putting all that revenue going towards this channel, which include things like prizes like digital copies of movies, physical copies of movies as well. And the way that that's going to be handled is during the live chats, if you get a digital cookie, your name gets put into the hat. If you get more than one digital cookie, your name gets put in multiple times. And then at the end of the live stream, most likely at the end of the live stream, I will then pick a name, and then that person will, direct message me, and then we'll work out what that person is interested in, and then we'll get a prize to that person. So that's why, because again, I really want to be able to give as much as I possibly can to this community. So that's it. That's what the digital cookies are all about. Also, 70B, you're doing an amazing job as the mod. I just want to say kudos to you. Digital cookie for you, Stephanie. You are freaking amazing. You're doing an amazing job. It's like you were built for this. Jedi Starship said, I guess there's another Jedi Starship on Twitter because that is not me. Well, please contact me on my Twitter. I have opened up my messages, so if you want to send me a direct message, even if I don't follow you, you can still send me a message if you ever have like a question or anything like that. Let's see. Will Last Name Guy says, I didn't hate the Star Wars prequels, to be honest. The visuals don't hold up time, though. Exactly. Again, the visuals are really bad. CGI was never very good, in my opinion. CGI Yoda is just painfully bad. So yeah, just not a fan. Let's see. Stephanie B has given Nemesis 08 his digital cookie. Damn right. Navy says maybe the man is your neighbor's boy toy. It could be, but I don't know anyone that would want to be her boy toy personally. Again, nothing. I'm not trying to attack her personally. I just based on the attitude she's given me, I don't know who would want to deal. I don't know who would want to put up with that on a daily basis. Rat Boy says, I had a neighbor from hell get on me about my lawn, wanted me to mow daily. He called his city to come out and measure the height of the grass to see if it was breaking city code. Rat Boy, that is freaking insanity. Wow. Oh my goodness. That's one of the things that me and my wife wanted to be sure of, is that we did not have like a homeowners association, because sometimes they can be vicious as well, like crazy with it. That's insane though, that they have to measure your freaking grass because he wants you to mow it every day. That's insane. That is freaking insane. 70B says, ow, the dog story. Yeah, me and my wife were heartbroken when that happened, because immediately we thought to ourselves, was there something else that we could have done? And so we are a lot more wary of it. We're keeping a very keen eye on their new dog. It's an inside dog, so we can't see it very often, but we are keeping a very keen eye. And if we see anything out of the ordinary, we are going to report it right away, because we just do not trust them with dogs. Donald says, I so want an Obi-Wan film. I agree. I do as well. I just, at this point, don't think they would do justice to it. And so once we get some more competent people in charge of Lucasfilm and have a solid director, solid writer that's not John Kasdan, then I think that we will be well on our way to having a great Obi-Wan film. Sister Mary says the prequels FX aged a lot faster than the original trilogy FX. Again, I can watch the original trilogy special effects today and they look fine to me. Like, even though I know that it's not perfect, it still works. The ones that were in the newer films just look so fake. Like, they just look so damn fake. Sister Mary says the special editions too as well. Greta says, I hate about hearing about animals being abused. Me too. Like, that is something, like, obviously any kid being abused, that is something that I'm going to, like, go crazy over. Animals too, though, especially dogs, since I've had dogs my entire life. I mean, any animal, but dogs especially, because I've had dogs my whole life. Like, that just makes me so freaking angry. So I'm glad that I have some other animal lovers in the chat. Donald Hudson said, anyone remember the Beetlejuice cartoons, not the movie? I love the Beetlejuice series. I loved it. I mean, the movie was great too. I mean, Michael Keaton is he's just such a boss in that film. I still cannot believe that that's Michael Keaton who's playing that role. He's just so damn good. But yes, I love the animated series. I loved it. I mean, I watched it every single day. Every single day that it was on for as long as it ran, I would watch it because it was just so much fun. Yes, so good. Oh, so good, Sid. So Data Racer, what's up, Data Racer? Welcome back to the chat. Making Star Wars live stream right now only has 50 views. They're the largest Disney shill group online. Who is the small minority fans? Again, exactly. I mean, we only have 20 here, but also my channel is very, very, very small. And I know that there's 2 other streams going on that are like-minded to this community that probably have like over 1,000 people in there. So yeah, it's interesting that they love to talk about saying, oh, it's, oh yeah, we're small. We're the ones that are the small minority. It's like, look at your numbers, look at your support, look at how many people are actually going to buy your product. And yeah, it tells a very different story. Last name guy says the sad shelter animal commercials get me every time. Oh my goodness. Through the arms of an angel, far away from here, I don't know the words, find some comfort here. Every single time I cry, and I hate it because you just see immediately like the sad, like, adopt me, please. And it's just like, I want to adopt you. I must adopt you, please. And I look to my wife and I say, can we please adopt this dog? And she says, no, we have 2. That's more than enough. But I say, oh, but the puppy, my little puppy, he's so cute. And I can't handle it. I love dogs so much. That's why me and Stephanie B get well so much, because we both have that mutual love. Oatmeal cookies are good drama king. I like oatmeal cookies. Oatmeal raisin cookies are the devil. And I'm not mincing words there. They are Satan incarnate. Navy says, man, my brothers used to do that stuff like me all the time, telling me that it was white chocolate when in fact it was cheese. Oh no. It's like one of those things, like, I feel like that's for any food. If you're told it's going to be something and then it's not that, and it's like totally different, it's just your whole body gets shocked by it. And it's just this like, ugh, just get it out of me. Last name guy says Beetlejuice cartoon was awesome. It was so good. Damocles says Johnny English. Oh my God, it was so good. Navy says he's seen it. Oh my God, the new trailer is fantastic. Go see the new trailer for Johnny English. It's the sequel that you never thought you wanted to see, but after seeing this trailer, I want to see it. Donald Hudson says Beetlejuice was hilarious. Liked it more than the movie. I like both for different reasons, but I definitely watched the cartoon more than I've seen the movie. Tina says all 4 seasons of Blackadder are on Hulu. Season 1 is the medieval times. 2 is the Tudor era. 3 is Regency. 4 is World War One. This sounds amazing. So this is all history based because that's awesome. The first one might be the one I stick with because I love medieval history. That's my favorite part of history is medieval history. So, oh man, I don't have Hulu though. That's the only downside. So maybe I have an app that I can find it on. But yes, it's on my list. So I'm definitely gonna check it out. Yes, Stephanie, where is Alien? Alien is lurking in the shadows somewhere. Where are you? Alien, we know you're out there. The truth is out there, Alien, please. Last name guy says, does anyone remember TJE, the Punky Brewster cartoon? No, I do not. 70B says, may I give my digital cookie away? No. But what you can do. So I was deciding this today. When I do eventually the draws for prizes, if someone who gets chosen from the digital cookie pile gets a prize, they can, if they so choose, give it away, and then we could pull again from the same pool for someone else to win. So that is the way. But no, you cannot give the digital cookies themselves away. They are from me to you. They are a personal gift, and you cannot re-gift the personal gift of the digital cookie. I want to award it to someone. No. Now, here's something that I might do in the future. So far, I am the keeper of the digital cookies, but as things get bigger, Stephanie B, I might make you as being the first member. You are the general of the Valkyrie. You are the general of the mods. And so I might give you that power, and then you can then give out the cookies, keep track of it, and then give me a list, and then we can do a random choosing of that. So let me know what you think about that, and we might do that at some point. So Stephanie B, you're awesome. Thank you for all these ideas. Damocles, what do you think of the Peter Jackson as a director with his team for Weta as a future Star Wars film? I mean, I like Peter Jackson's work. I think that he's kind of fallen away. I feel that ever since The Lord of the Rings, he has not gotten back into his groove. I feel like every other film he's made has been subpar at best compared to that trilogy. So I don't know. I don't know if he would be good for Star Wars at this point in his career. If he's able to surprise me with something new, with something really cool, I might consider that. But right now, I'm not. Donald Hudson says, who's looking forward to the new Tremors series as a troll? Yes. Now, look, if they do with Tremors what Cobra Kai did with the Karate Kid, then the Tremors series could be great. If you have never seen Cobra Kai, get a trial of YouTube Red, binge watch all like 10 episodes, and you will be so much happier for it because it is so freaking awesome. So yeah, with Tremors, it depends on how they do it. 70B says he is catching the chat. I'm catching the chat. Oh, I'm only 5 minutes behind now. Oh, damn, I am. Thank you, 70B. Let's see. Random says animated Beetlejuice and Addams Family were both really good. I loved both of those. Beetlejuice more so than Addams Family. I prefer the Addams Family live action films with what's his name? Raul. I forget his whole name, but the oh my goodness, I'm so sad that he passed away. Like he was in his 40s when he passed away, but he played Gomez Adams. Oh, Raul Julia. Oh my goodness. Oh no, Nemesis. Oh no, I did it, guys. I did it. Oh, Nemesis. And Nemesis didn't even try on that one. Guys, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. That's the kind of day I've had, guys. That's the mood that my neighbors got me in. Now those words are in my mind. I'm so sorry, chat. I am so sorry. I bet the chat's blowing up right now saying he did it. He finally cursed. Oh my God. Guys, I'm so sorry. Again, I don't like speaking like that. I really don't. So I'm sorry that I did. But anyway, going back to what I was saying originally, no one's left yet, so that makes me feel a little better. I'm so sorry, guys. But anyway, it was so freaking good. That's what I have to say about that. No, Nemesis is going to be giving me so much crap in the chat. I cannot wait to see it. Navy says, have you heard that Beetlejuice goes Hawaiian may actually happen now? Oh, yeah. So I know for a while, Michael Keaton was talking about going back to play that role. So that could be really interesting. Data Racer says 50 viewers. Yeah, again, for a big channel, that's not very good. For me, 20 is great. I love having 20. Let's see. And it goes between like 18 and 20, which I'm fine with. Tina says, you and your big puppy dog eyes, where do I donate? Yes, the ASPCA. Greta says, I'm going to go adopt a zoo one day. That would be awesome, man, to own a zoo. I feel like it'd just be a little too much work. Data says the shills are out in force on Twitter, and that's it. Facebook, YouTube, etc., is owned by the real fans. I definitely, in my comments especially, I definitely feel like the real fans or the hardcore fans definitely have a much stronger pull, because I get a lot more positive comments than I do get negative comments. That's for sure. Facebook, I feel, is a bit mixed, so I wouldn't go that far. But Twitter is definitely SJW world for sure. Donald Hudson says the new Tremors will have Kevin Bacon in it. I'm kind of excited. Well, I do love Kevin Bacon, so I'm definitely gonna go check it out. But I kind of hope it's like that campy. Again, if it does what Cobra Kai did, then I think it could be good. Random Game User says, I used to have more cool stuff before I moved out of Vegas. Nice. Lethal Lightning, I am back, baby. Lethal Lightning, I'm so glad that you're here. Let's see. Greta says, hi, I'm going to have so many animals in my house. Yeah, she already has cats in her house. She's going to have so many animals, but you know what? That's what I want my house to be too, because I love animals so freaking much. Random says Blackadder goes fourth, and Blackadder the third might be my face. Okay, good to hear. Dan McLeese says I have 3 dogs, large, black, growing the land, Belgian Shepherd. Sorry, one is trained as a search and rescue dog. Love my dogs and love animals in general. That is awesome. Search and rescue. Oh my goodness, that's freaking awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. System Error says the first Blackadder is very different. Tina says, well, the Rowan Atkinson version of English history anyway, which I appreciate. Navy says, E.T. phone home. Lethal Lightning says, if you are liking Blackadder, maybe try Dad's Army. Yeah, let me go through Blackadder first. Yes, sir, says Stephanie B. All right. Yeah, I think that's gonna work in the future. So we'll work that out as we go through. Instead of a digital cookie, how about we get Odin Infinity Stone? Oh, maybe. I like the cookies myself. I think they're fun and they're so good. They're so delicious. System says, I realize he's going to see young Hugh Laurie and Blackadder. Odin, you like House? I'm not a huge House person. I'm not against House. I just, every time I saw a trailer for it, I thought to myself, I'm not really interested in watching it. So, and I'm sorry, my F-bomb must have driven 2 people away. I'm sorry again, guys. Oh man, I cannot believe that happened. Random Game User says, for me, Peter Jackson's best film was Dead Alive. That is on my list of things to see, so thank you for reminding me. Will Last Name Guy says, I could never handle Infinity Stone. I don't think any of us could. Maybe I could. Navy says, what happened to Peter Jackson's Halo movie? Yeah, it turned into, I believe it turned into District 9. I think that's the whole story behind that. It was scrapped very early on. Tina says, I keep seeing the new trailer for steampunky looking dystopian movie produced by Peter Jackson. Something Machines, so far not impressed. Yeah, me neither. That does not look good at all. So I don't have very high expectations for it. Definitely. Lee Lang says, I love Peter Jackson's early B-grade films. Greta says, Lord of the Rings series is perfection. I was so disappointed with the Hobbit series. Me too. Again, the Hobbit series were at least entertaining and enjoyable, but nothing can touch the Lord of the Rings for sure. Navy says, Lethal rather would have seen that man when he did in the Hobbit. There it is, guys. All right. Rat Boy says F-bomb. Lethal Lightning says, oh, Odin said F. Nemesis. Nemesis is getting a kick out of it. Tina says it's all good. Well, thank you so much, Tina. I appreciate that. 70B says you slipped. I did slip. Oh my goodness. I slipped so bad. Nemesis, you said it dirty. Lethal says, shall I go download the stream and crop out the part? Yes, please. Oh, get rid of it. Oh, if I had the patience to get through these things, I would. But you know what? Because it's one, I think I'll be okay. But I might have to go back and change that. Oh man, Nemesis says finally. Damn you, Nemesis. Damn you. It's all because of your damn crusade and because of my damn neighbor. Leo says, shall I go? Sorry. Last Name Guy says, where's the District 9 sequel? Make Jackson work on that first. Yeah, I could definitely see that. But another director took that project over, and it was pretty good. But then he made the film Elysium, which was not very good, not my favorite, and then Chappie, which was more of a comedy in my opinion. I feel like Chappie should have been called D. Antwood, the movie, because it was all about the band D. Antwood, and that's pretty much all I can say about it. Let's see. Lila says, I don't know if you've seen, but lately SJW and Shills have been going after Star Wars Legends. I have heard some of it. I haven't seen too much of it, but I have heard about it. 70B is calling it Nemesis, saying you are naughty. Damn right you are. Nemesis, wait, you went from uncorruptible like Superman to a cursor. It's all good. You're human, a good human, not a crappy human being. I see. I caught you there, Nemesis. Well, thank you again. I mean, I'm not perfect, and I've never said that that I'm perfect, but man, I was doing so well, and I again, I apologize because that's not what I want to bring here on the channel. Well, last time guy says I'm not familiar with that Navy. Nemesis says I am naughty, Steph. You are definitely. All right, all right, all right. Systemair says I've actually never watched House, but I'm amused by him and playing an American doctor in one of those doctor shows. Yeah, I thought he was American for the longest time because it was not only that, but also he was in the Mouse. I mean the what's his name? Stuart Little. That's where I first saw him. He was the father in Stuart Little. And so he's been playing an American for as long as I had seen him. And so that's why when I found out that he was not, I was like, oh my goodness. Donald Hudson says, dang it, I leave for 2 seconds. Yeah, you missed it, man. You missed it. Susan Mara says, I grew up with him, a top comedian. Donald Hudson, F-bombs after dark. Again, it's not going to be there. I'm sorry. Susan Mara says he had several series of sketch shows on Fry and Laurie. Okay. Nemesis 08, Odin 3, Odin's Neighbor 1, Brian 0. Oh, Nemesis, you get a digital cookie. I will give you, Nemesis, for that. I will give you that digital cookie that you've been wanting for so long. Nemesis, you are an owner of a digital cookie. Lee Lang says, my dad thinks Chappie is one of the saddest movies out there. Yeah, it's let's see. 70B says, y'all, I don't think Alien is here tonight. I think he's here. I think he's just gonna pop up at random like he always does. And he's like, I've been watching the whole time, for I am Alien, and that is what I do. I really do think he's here. Be on the lookout, guys. And so he says RT is missing and Brad Noble. I know Brad Noble. That's the one I'm very surprised by, especially if he was in someone else's live stream. I really do think he might be in another live stream right now since he tends to be very active in there. But RTE, yeah, it's really sad to see RTE not here because RTE is freaking awesome. Will Ask guys says Hugh Laurie is a great actor. I had no idea he was British until I randomly saw Fry and Laurie. Super high five from Nemesis. Navy says F-bombs must be when someone farts. Let's see. Nemesis has 2 cookies. You have 2 cookies. So in the future, that means you'll have 2 chances to win a prize. So hopefully we get to that point. Donald Hudson says he's intimidated by my animal magnetism. Lilo says, okay, I got to head back out to take care and stay safe, everyone. Lilo Lightning, thank you just so much for joining us. Again, I always know that you're busy, especially since you're in a completely different time zone where time just works so differently for you. So I greatly appreciate you stopping by. So thank you so much, good sir. Okays. All right, talking to Will Napsy guy. Has anyone ever seen The Young Ones? It's a mid-'80s British comedy series worth watching. No, I have not. No, I have not. Has anyone else seen it? Is it worth watching? I am officially caught up with the chat. That's like the earliest that I've ever gotten caught up with the chat. So we've been going now for about an hour and a half. So we're doing pretty well, guys. We are doing pretty damn well. Navy says, well, time is relative. Well, yes, indeed. Time is relative. You're correct. One of my favorite parts of Interstellar is them dealing with relativity. You know, when they go to a planet and then time passes differently in another location, that stuff always blows my mind. So I love that so much. Let's see. Tina says, if Odin hasn't watched Red Dwarf, that's another one. Is that a TV series? Let me know. So Red Dwarf. Got it written down. Yay. Says Stephanie B. Yeah, for being caught up with the chat. Yes, indeed. Mary says The Young Ones is also a legendary one. Rick Mayall and Aid Edmondson. Mary says then they did Bottom After, which is also a classic. Okay, good to hear. Tina says I need to go back and rewatch it. Drop Dead Fred. Never seen Drop Dead Fred either. Navy says Interstellar was Nolan's attempt to make a 2001 movie, and I think that on second viewing he succeeds to an extent. I do really like Interstellar a lot. I do like it a lot. I like it a lot. Digital cookie forever can catch that reference. I like it a lot. Let's see. Donald Hudson says The Last Starfighter. Never seen Last Starfighter. Is it something I should see? Tina says another British comedy show, but it's science fiction. Okay, good to know. Is it better or equal to Doctor Who. Let me know. Is it better or equal to Doctor Who? Donald Hudson says Drop Dead Fred is funny as heck. 70B says Dumb and Dumber. Yes, 70B, you get another digital cookie for the night. Oh man, 70B, you are well on your way. You will be probably one of the first persons to get a prize. And I cannot wait, guys. You have no idea how excited I am because I've always wanted to be able to give something away. And so it's like the thing I'm most looking forward to is being able to like everything that's just centered on the channel, being able to like everything that's put into the channel, being able to produce something that can then go back out into the community. I'm just so excited for. So Stephanie B, you are definitely going to be on that top of the list. Let's see. Nemesis 08 says, did anyone make the mistake of watching The Shining or Pet Sematary at a young age? I did that and scared the shiznit out of me. I'm surprised you didn't try to do that one there. Yeah, I saw The Shining when I was younger and it terrified me and I still don't like watching it. Pet Sematary too. I watched that one when I was a teenager, so I was less scared by that film, but just the concept of pets coming back and not being the same is very, very scary. Damocles says Spooks, a British series about an MI6 agent's pretty good. Actually, all right, good to know. Tina says, if you have a warped sense of humor, you'll love Red Dwarf. Well, some people would say that I do have a warped sense of humor. Do you mean like a dirty warped sense? Do you mean like a quirky sense of humor? Because if it's quirky or dirty, I probably would appreciate both. Nemesis 08 says, Dumb and Dumber. Sorry, you were too late, Nemesis. Sorry, you were too busy celebrating the F-bomb. So you miss out. But Stephanie B, yes, my prize is hanging out with y'all. Yes, this Stephanie B is the holder of the digital cookies. Well, last name guy, smiley face. Nemesis, she must be ahead of me. Yes, she is. No, I think at this point, 70B, do you have 2 or 3 cookies tonight? I know Nemesis has. Actually, 70B, what are the cookie totals for this evening? Please let me know. Let's see. Oh, sorry. And just to re-clarify, she said, my prize is hanging out with y'all. Well, 70B, our prize is hanging out with you. You are awesome. You are amazing. Let's see. I did, and I loved it. All right, good to hear. Nemesis says I might be a little, maybe behind a little bit. That might be why, but still, no excuse, Nemesis. Donald Hudson says, should that worry me? Should what worry you? Let's see. Tina says, quirky, weird, witty, insane. Sounds good to me. So that's definitely on the list for sure. Let's see. Stephanie B says 2. So Stephanie B has 2 digital cookies. System Error says, Red Dwarf isn't warped. You want warped. You want the League of Gentlemen, which is also amazing. Okay. Whew, man, y'all give me so many recommendations, but I love it. All right. So 70B with the totals count. Says that 70B has 2. Nemesis also has 2. A total of 4 cookies have been given out thus far. Thank you for that update, Stephanie. That is why you're a mod, and that is why you are amazing. Let's see. System Error says League of Gentlemen is the greatest horror comedy of all time, better than Shaun of the Dead. If anyone else gives a shout to that, then I will add that to the list. And as I say that, Random Game User says League of Gentlemen was also great too. So was Little Britain. So League of Gentlemen is on the list. League of Gentlemen, you just made the list. Phantom Horizon is warped, but also Random Game User also suggested so was Little Britain. Let's see. Nemesis says, let's eat those cookies together. Man, if I could eat a cookie, that would be freaking great, man. Let's see. RTE is in the chat. RTE is here. RTE, evening gang. I have arrived late. That's okay. Better late than never. Random says, sorry, a bit of a Anglophile. Love me some British shows. Hey, I love British shows too, so I appreciate the shouts. Let's see. Deal says Stephanie B. Nom 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 nom. Navy says, anyone remember Smith and Jones? No. Navy says, I am old. No, you're not. Yes, RTE is here. RTE, Odin, sir. Hello, RTE. Welcome back to the chat. Nemesis says, have you watched Troll Hunters on Netflix? Yes, it's a cartoon, but I love that crap. I have not. Sounds kind of interesting. Tina says, I just checked so you have no excuse. There's a Red Dwarf channel on YouTube, which appears to have all of the seasons. So does that mean that they're all pirated? Like, what does that mean? So let me know what that means. Is it on YouTube Red? Because I have YouTube TV, which means I have access to YouTube Red shows. So please let me know if it's on there. If it's just regular old YouTube. Hey, Steph. Hey, Tina. What's up, my friend? Yes, RTE is freaking amazing. Donald Hudson says Disney sci-fi black hole. Nemesis says, hello, Rose. Susamara says, all of these shows have amazing theme tunes too. Do you notice? That sounds awesome. Navy says, look up Smith & Jones Egyptian Builder will not disappoint. Okay, Tina RT says, not just washing. All right, awesome. Very cool. Glad you can do it. I'm going to put my phone down for just a brief second because I want to be able to get, hold on one second. Sorry, I have to respond to the wife. Now, sorry guys, y'all can go ahead and fill that chat up so that way I can fall behind again. I just want to make sure I was able to get those things going. And then also, I want to see if I can try something out really quickly. Let's see. I want to see what other kind of powers do I have. Alrighty. All right, so System Air says all these shows, meaning, okay, got that. Not much doing washing. Tina says, let me find the link to the channel. It has nearly 1,500 subscribers. All right, sounds good. Let's see. System Air says Red Dwarf, brilliant theme. Blackadder, brilliant theme. League of Gentlemen, Jeeves, and Wooster, all rocking tunes. So B says caught up. Yes, I caught up. So I've fallen behind a little bit again, but I think I'll be able to catch up really quickly, maybe. RT says Howard Goodall did 2 of them. Hydrate. Yes, hydrate. Sammy B says hello, Mrs. Odin, the humble. Yes. Hello. Everyone say hello to the wife. I will let her know that you say hello. So thank you, Stephanie. And also she will say hello to you. Nemesis says, you drink that water like a boss. I will do that, good sir. I try not to be too loud. I try not to gulp like EBS did. Now he mutes his microphone because he's just a wuss. But I try not to do that. Navy says, by the way, talking about British things, have anyone seen the parody band Mac Sabbath? No, I have not. System says, yeah, Howard Goodall did all the Blackadder stuff, I think. What you doing, Greta? Still here? Yeah, Greta just likes to sit back, enjoy the chat. She likes to jump in when we talk about more mainstream films and also award shows and things of that nature. So she's still here. RD says, you talking about British shows? Yes, we are. RD says, hello, Greta. Donald says, water sucks. It really sucks. Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Sucks. Waterboy, another great show, great movie. Everyone's saying hello. Tina says hello, wife of Odin's movie blog. Yes, indeed. I will let her know that you all say hello. Water is tasty. It absolutely, Blackadder, Red Dwarf are definitely much was. Yeah, RT, we were talking about classic British comedy because Odin likes Holy Grail. Yes, so yeah, that's what got it all started. Is that I love Monty Python Search for Holy Grail. I like Life of Brian, but Holy Grail has always been one of my all-time favorite films. So that is what got us on the topic of British movies and also British TV shows, mostly British TV shows. So that's where we are now. Oh man, I need so much water tonight. Let's see. Damocles says, I am off, my friends. Greetings from the lovely Zurich, Switzerland. That is the first time that we've had someone from Switzerland in the chat. So Damocles, thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you haven't subscribed, please do. But if you don't want to, then that's fine too. But please come back and join us once again. We try and do these every night, and we have very small, tight-knit community, and we have a lot of fun. So if you had fun, please think about it. And Damocles, thank you so much for joining us. And also, thanks for joining us from Switzerland. I know that it's a very different time right now over there. So thank you for just giving any bit of your time for us. So thank you very much. I appreciate you. Super is back. What's up, Super? Welcome back. How was the chat? What was going on? Nemesis, go hydrate yourself for proper beard growth. Exactly right. Donald Hudson says, thank you. Oh, no, thank you. Good, sir. Super says chat was kind of underwhelming. Yeah. Was it just too many things going on? Was that what was going? I mean, I feel like it just sometimes gets so crazy. Navy says Waterboy is one of the last great films by Adam Sandler. I will agree with that. I will say I honestly like Mr. Deeds. I do like Mr. Deeds. I think there's a good message to it, and there's some really quotable lines and parts in there. And I also like Spanglish and Click. But as far as great Adam Sandler comedies, definitely one of the last ones for sure. RT says, any Brits in here? I think there's a few Brits in here. Super says, what would be talking about this evening? We're talking about pretty much everything. Right now we're talking about British TV shows, but You can always bring up anything you want. Nemesis says that's some high quality H2O. Yes, absolutely agree with you there. Good day, good day, good day. Foosball. Wow, my son ain't playing no foosball. Oh my goodness. Can any of y'all believe that she was in that movie? Like, oh my goodness. I love her. Kathy Bates is probably one of my favorite all-time actors. And have any of y'all ever seen Misery? If you want to see an amazing performance, Oscar-worthy performance, watch the film Misery. It's all about fandom gone wrong, different than what we're talking about today in today's society, but it's one of the best thrillers that you will ever see. It's fantastic. Let's see. Tina says, Grr, it won't let me post the YouTube link for Red Dwarf. What's your Twitter handle? I'll post it on there. Yeah, that's one of the problems with these chats is that it doesn't let that happen. Let's see. But I do want to see what I can do. So, also, Stephanie, can you let me know? Can you post links? Can you post links in anything? Manage moderators. Ooh, this is new. Let's see. These users can remove comments, which will appear in your held for review page, and can also moderate your live stream messages. Paste new moderators channel URL. Okay, approved users. We have several hidden users. Blocked words, blocked links. New comments with hashtags you moderators and approved users. Okay, so according to this, I don't have that. All right. All right. So sorry going off on a tangent, guys. But according to this, because I really did want to find out what was going on. So according to this, so hold on one second. All right, let me find back. So let's see. Where was I in the chat? Tina. All right, so guys, I'm gonna do it because this person has been in the chat now for like 3 or 4 straight nights, has always been active in the chat, has been freaking amazing every single night. Not only does she earn so many great digital cookies, but she's also an amazing human person based on everything that I know about her. And so, 2 nights in a row, 2 mods in a row. Tina, you're now a mod. Congratulations. You're now a part of the Valkyrie. Take that role with responsibility, but it should now mean that you can post the link into the chat so that way everyone can see the link, and let me know if it works. Either way, though, if it works or not, you are still a mod. So, Tina, thank you so much for dedicating your time to this channel, for being very active in the chat. I greatly appreciate you. And again, no one feel hurt that you're not a mod yet. Again, everything's still very young at this point, but Tina has just really been. I've loved almost every single, again, not to say I don't like everyone's chats, but Tina has kind of gone above and beyond. And also, too, Tina tags me in every single one of her comments that's directly meant for me. So it makes it so much easier for me to see, okay, this is meant for me and anything else. So congratulations, Tina. You are a mod. You are a member of the Valkyrie. You are amazing. Do not take that role lightly. So yes, go ahead and try and see if you can post it now. Let's see. Super says, don't know if you follow, but Captain Cummings had a beef with Ethan and Doug Erst. Exposed it this afternoon on live chat. Yeah, I did hear that things were going down. I was watching a little bit of Geeks and Gamers earlier, and someone in that chat talked to Jeremy and said that things went down. I don't know exactly what happened, but I would love to find out. All caught up. Yep, definitely getting close. Let's see. Tina says, Misery is amazing. It is so freaking good. Let's see. Yeah, it was hella scary. So good. It is an absolute classic. One of my all-time favorite horror films, like horror thriller films. That foot will haunt me forever in my nightmares. Yes, that entire scene, the flogging scene, is just, it not only builds tension, it not only builds character, but then it's also disturbing as hell. Nemesis says, favorite baseball movies, mine are The Sandlot and Natural. I love The Sandlot, but I will actually say a modern film, Moneyball. I loved Moneyball. I loved it. I thought it was so, I mean, Aaron Sorkin did the script for it, or did the screenplay for it, so it was already great because of that. But oh my goodness, I love those films so much. Navy says, wasn't there a film with De Niro called The Fan? I'm not sure. RT says Red Dwarf is still going, but it should finish really. I feel like a lot of shows go far past what they should. Let's see. Let's indeed see. Lord Nurgle says, I see he has returned. Lord Nurgle, what is up? Lord Nurgle, welcome back. Let's see. Last name says Pet Cemetery. We talked about that earlier. Super says, everyone talked it out, though, so it's cool now. Okay, well, that's good to hear. Tina says, I promise to never say to you, I'm your number one fan. Yes, please. Because then it would be creepy. And also, since you're a mod now, that'd be even creepier. Let's see. I promise to never say I'm your woman fan. I thought she did a great Roseanne Barr in Mystery. Yes, Nemesis. System says, I read the novel of Misery too. I like it so much, even though I hate books and book learning. Yeah, me too. I feel like that's a book I would want to go to for that reason. RD says, I have returned Nurgle. System Error says, yeah, RT, I just want to go back and enjoy the Earth seasons. 70B says, when I try and post, it doesn't link. That's interesting because when I just read the description for mods, it said that y'all were allowed to, so I don't know what's going on with that. Let's see. Someone talking Navy. I was Sailor once upon a time. Red. Someone talking Navy. I was Sailor once upon a time. That's really cool. System says Red Dwarf did get bad if memory serves. Let's see. RTE says, yeah, about the first 6 seasons are so the best. RT says, congrats, Tina. Yes, congrats, Tina. Yes, Ak, thank you. You are welcome, Tina. You are fantastic. You are wonderful. You've been excellent in the chat every single night, always on point, and also always, as I said before, you always tag me in your posts, and it just makes it a lot easier to read. So since I know that you use those tags very well, I know that you will be a very good mod. So thank you very much. You are freaking amazing. You are now a member of the Valkyrie, so thank you very much. Let's see. Yes, go Tina. Go Tina. Let me try it again. I'm having a blast here. Yes, Tina. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm having a blast with you being here. So great. Susamara says, actually, Red Dwarf has some surprisingly good novels. Writers did novels too. Let's see. Says, congrats. Feeling salted. Says super. Again, guys, don't feel insulted. Again, it's nothing personal. Again, I really just do these on a whim. I mean, I do these because there are people who I know are awesome. Again, there's other people who are in my head right now. But I feel like there's just certain moments where I just say, no, I got to do it. I got to pull the Band-Aid on this one. And I definitely feel, again, Tina is going to do an excellent job. Tina is amazing. There it is. All right. So Tina, you can post links. Awesome. That sounds great. And so Stephanie, I don't know what happened when you tried to do it, but it looks like links can be posted. So y'all have a very tremendous responsibility now, but also I might ask you from time to time to maybe post a link that I talk about. And now that I know that y'all can do that, that's going to be awesome. So it's a responsibility, but I know all of y'all can handle it because y'all are amazing. That's why y'all the Valkyrie. All right. So Tina has now posted that link. So let me go ahead and go to, let's see, 1016. All right. I am opening it up on my channel right now. All right. Thank you. So I have now subscribed to Red Dwarf, and I will check that out later. So thank you so much for that. All right, so Navy says, I was actually positively surprised by the new It movie. I heard excellent things. So I will say this. It terrified me as a kid. It still terrifies me. And that's the reason why I did not go see the new one. I wanted to because I love supporting good horror films because I think Hollywood makes so many crappy PG-13 horror films that we need to support the ones that are good so that way they make more like them. So I will say that I was terrified to see it. So I might see it one day because I do hear it's really good. So very, very good shout. I'm excited to be one of the Valkyrie. Yes, Tina. Yes, the fan. Was it Wesley Snipes? Moneyball was great except for Brad Pitt. Yeah, again, he was the worst part of it, but Moneyball itself was great. Systemera says, oh, and if you want a good read William Goldman's stuff about how he adapted Misery, and particularly that scene from the novel. Very interesting stuff. Unfortunately, all of my books, I'm capped out on books, so please remind me later on. Whenever I mention a novel that I finally have read off my list, that is when I will open it up for more novels to be added on there. Let's see. Super says, I personally think Cummings was way out of line, but I'm not going to try to get you to think like I do. Again, I don't really know what happened. So I have no context for it. So I don't know who would be out of line or not. It sounds more like a miscommunication. The fan with Snipes. Tina says, Smile is the #1 fan comment. I hope that stupid link works. It did work. So thank you very much. I'm glad to hear that. You're not into drunks, says Navy. Tina is gonna get me fired. Let's see. Garden Varietal, what is up, Garden Varietal? Welcome back to the chat. Odin, how do you keep control with all these Valkyrie running around chaos? Well, that's why I'm very, very careful with who I choose to be the Valkyrie. That is why they are the ones that contain the chaos. They are the ones that put the Brad Nobles into timeout, and they are awesome. I love my Valkyrie. They are awesome, awesome. And yes, Stephanie was the first Valkyrie. She is the general of the Valkyrie, that is for sure. RT says Red Dwarf is about the last man alive in mining spaceship called the Red Dwarf. After radiation leak kills the crew, the one guy left survives because he was put in status for smuggling a pet cat aboard. Okay, that sounds really interesting. Thank you for that shout. Navy says, talking about the WB. Nemesis 08 leaving. Oh, I'm so sorry. Night, guys. Love, love, love this community. Thank you, Odin, for allowing me to be here, even though I've been trying to make you curse. I feel like the Joker in the Dark Knight trying to corrupt Batman. Well, no, I appreciate it. Again, I love the fact that you keep trying to make me do that. In fact, I just did it on myself. Again, I really do want to say, I give you some credit for that because it's you and your constant pushing, but it was probably my neighbor and just the mood that my neighbor got me in. But also, I love this community too. And I just want to say, like, I felt so much anger in my heart. I felt so much frustration. I hate that. I hate feeling angry. I hate having that kind of emotion. And so it's this community, though, that always makes me feel so much better about life and about myself. And so I just want to thank y'all for that. I mean, y'all are amazing. Y'all are what make this community what it is. And we are small, we are strong, and we are vocal. And y'all are fantastic. So thank y'all for being here. And Nemesis, have a good night. And I can't wait for some more back and forth on Twitter because follow him on Twitter. Nemesis. Stephanie, actually, have you posted Nemesis Twitter handle? If you can do that before he goes or even after he goes, post Nemesis Twitter handle. And please, guys, go follow him on Twitter. He is awesome. He is a boss. Yes, Night Nemesis Navy. The girl who plays Beverly Marsh in the new version is amazing. Greta says the new It movie is good. The child actors were the best part about it. So excited for the sequel because of the cast. I agree. So I heard the child actors are great. One of the reasons why I might actually end up seeing it is because I hear it's very much like an 80s coming of age story. And I love movies like that. But some of the scenes, it just in the trailers terrified me. But the second one looks great too, because I think all of the adult characters that were cast were perfectly cast for the characters that they're playing. Last name guy says Night Nemesis, good night. Orange says Night Nemesis, Lord Nurgle. All of it was between EVS and Cummings was a bunch of idiotic drama. Yeah, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Senator says, Owen, skip the novels and go straight to William Goldman. He is a Hollywood screenwriting legend. Isn't he the person that wrote Princess Bride? Because if that's the case, then I agree with you because, oh my goodness, Princess Bride. There is a great audiobook that I mean, it's a book, but it's also an audiobook that was read by Carrie Ills. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he was the one that played the man in black in Princess Bride. And it is such a great film. It's so well written. But the reason why I like the audiobook is because he gets, not only does he narrate the entire story, but then he gets like a lot of the actors to do some like interviews them in a lot of way to put their voice to the book, to the story. And it's fantastic. It's called As You Wish. Go check it out. As You Wish audiobook. It's so good. But I think that's the same person you're talking about. Rat Boy says Nemesis gets to the mod next. He-Man woman haters. Odin has to drop 3 low-level curse words or drop a fat F-bomb. Yeah, I mean, Nemesis is up there. Nemesis is definitely up there. Maybe on the next He-Man woman haters club, maybe we'll finally bump up a man to the Valkyrie. But let's see. Sismara says, if you haven't read Adventures in the Screen Trade, you know nothing about cinema. I think I know a little bit about cinema, but because you said it in that way, I guess I'll add another book. Because you said it that way, you better be right. Because I'm breaking my rule here. And I'm writing about it. All right, now no more books. Let's see. Tina says, where is Brad? I want to put him in timeout, for reasons. Oh my goodness. So when if Brad gets into the chat before we end, y'all have to do that. Like that would just make my night to have both of y'all just totally troll him. Maybe not put him in timeout, but like Stephanie was doing this last night where she was just hiding his comments. So I could still at least see them, but in the chat, they show up as hidden. I think that's hilarious. RT says the guy who plays Butler in Tomb Raider is in Red Dwarf. Okay, good to know. RT says, yes, Chris Berry, you've seen Red Dwarf Tina. Isn't it always drama? Says Dot Huds. It seems like it definitely seems like it's drama all the time. B is cool. He is an EVS chat with Brad is cool. He was in the EVS chat with me. Well, hopefully he comes and joins us before we head out. Let's see. Nemesis says, one last comment. Odin, your neighbor sounds like a huge biatch. Yes. Thank you for that. I agree with you. And I'm glad that y'all can understand where I'm coming from and the anger and frustration. I know I've said this already, but I do want to apologize for the F-bomb that I dropped earlier because, again, that's not what I want to do here. But Nemesis, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. System Error says it's legendary as telling the truth about Hollywood that the smarmy masters will never admit. RT says, nice, didn't know how well it was in America. Navy says the best scene from Pennywise coming out of the screen in the garage. Oh, yeah, it sounds so scary. RT says America tried to do a version of Red Dwarf, which was awfully bad. Well, I feel like most U.S. like American adaptations of anything are never as good as their English counterparts. Let's see. System Air says yes, he did Princess Bride, Marathon Man, Butch Cassidy, Silence Can, among others. So yeah, I do know who you're talking about. 70B, thank you for dropping Darth Nemesis 08. That is indeed Nemesis's Twitter. Go check him out on Twitter. He is awesome. You mean PBS? System Error says it was so good. He did a sequel to more adventures in the screen trade and essays of all. It's kind of awesome. Okay. Well, I wrote down the first one, so I'll go check that out if I can. And once I find time, which I just don't have. Let's see. RT says Brad the Loon is not currently. RT says they did American Are You Being Served? RTE F-bomb Odin, disgraceful. I know, I'm so upset. It literally was a slip of the tongue, and as soon as I said it, I was just like I was just heartbroken. Oh no. Super says, wait, Odin swore. Gonna have to rewatch here for myself. I might have to take it down and edit it out just because I'll have to listen back and see how clear it is, just because I don't want a student of all things to eventually find the chat and, screen grab it and then say, look, my theology teacher curses. And I just don't want that to happen. So, but yeah, I'll probably have to figure that out tomorrow. William, that's not F-bomb. Yeah. RT says, boot him. Yes, boot me. Boot me, Steph. Use your power. Super says, also, don't worry. I strive to swear as little as you do. I try to be polite in chat in real life. I'm bad. Yeah, again, it's because you missed a story. I had an interaction with my neighbor earlier today, and she made me so freaking mad because she was just being ridiculous. It had something to do with my dogs barking, because dogs don't bark, apparently, in her world. And so I was already in a really bad mood. And so I was just talking casually about something, and I was trying to say freaking, and I actually said the F word instead. And so it was totally a slip of the tongue, but yeah, it's out there. But thank you. I appreciate that. RT says, yeah, sounds terrible. Tina, take a digital cookie away from him, Steph. It was quick, not too bad. Okay. Well, thank you, Steph. Again, I definitely will have to check that out. And just to see. Superman here said, oh, that's true. Forgot students could watch. Exactly. So again, they don't know about this yet, but knowing my students, they will find a way. Again, over the summer, they don't really care as much because they are doing their own thing. They don't care what teachers are doing. But at some point, I do think one of them will probably find it. And if that does happen, I doubt at this point, this stream has been going on for like 2 hours long. I doubt they'll watch the whole thing. And I mean, that happened at like the hour and a half mark about. So I think I should be fine, but just to be on the safe side, I'll think about it. I'll look into it. But thank you all so much for the support, guys. I do really appreciate it. Tina says, speaking of Americanized shows, did you ever see the Iron Chef pilot with William Shatner? It only played a couple of episodes on ABC or CBS. It was so bad. No, I did not, because it only played for so little. But that makes sense. RT says, shameful. I know. I feel so bad, RT. You're so right. 70 says, RD, Odin the Humble owns all the cookies. It's true. At this point, I am the only one that can give the cookies, so I cannot take away a cookie from myself. And I don't give myself digital cookies either. I give them to y'all. But I did mention, now that we have the mods, that I might in the future give the mods the power to give out digital cookies in my stead, and then keep track of them, so that way they can give me the list at the very end when eventually I'm able to give out prizes for those digital cookies. Donald Hudson says, muzzle those beasts. Navy says, well, Malamutes don't bark, they haul. Let's see. Super says, what kind of dogs do you have? So I have two. I have both of them are mutts. One is an Australian Shepherd Lab mix, and she is gorgeous. She is all black with like a little red tint on her ears. It's just really pretty. And then a white chest. And then she has a little white on her tail. She is gorgeous. And then Willow is my baby. She's the one who she's just turned a year old in May, and she's still a puppy. She is long and lanky, and she is awkward as hell. But it's funny because she is a German Shepherd Beagle mix. So she is really, really cute as well. I post them on Twitter sometimes. So if you want to follow me, Odin's Movie Blog on Twitter, I sometimes post pictures of them so you can check them out for yourselves. So just if you want to follow me now, you can actually go to my media and then pictures of them will pop up. And I think they're adorable. I love them so much. RT says, yeah, it never works, and Americans don't need it. You're Americans, you don't need it translated to. Exactly. Again, we can just, this goes back to the entire discussion we've had so many times about sequels and reboots. Just make new content. Can just make good new content. There's no need to just remake everything. It's silly. Let's see. Garden Varietal says a Freudian slip called parapraxis reveals that which we struggle against. Do you struggle to maintain control over public representation of yourself? Cookie, you want a cookie? That's a good question, a good point. Thank you for that information. Not quite a cookie yet. You need to be a little bit more active in the chat. That's usually, I give cookies to people who are very, very active in the chat and who make some really great comments. That was a really great comment, but I think I've only seen you a few times in the chat. So that's the reason why I'm not going to give you a digital cookie tonight, but don't worry because I give them out every single live stream. So whichever ones you can join us for, you will be able to be eligible for a digital cookie. But thank you very much for that explanation. And the question, do you struggle to maintain control over the public representation of yourself? I mean, I always try and be who I am. I try and be myself. But also, obviously, I do struggle. I mean, this is something I'm very open about. I struggle with anger. I have a lot of anger issues. And so I do sometimes struggle to maintain control and to maintain my calm when I do get angry, especially in those situations where I'm justifiably angry. But still, obviously, I feel like there's a limit in which we can control what we say and how we act. And so that's what I have trouble controlling, if anything like that. So, but kudos to you. Mex ASC, what's up, Mex? Welcome back to the chat. Freud was also an immense pervert. Oh, there's so many things that could be said about Freud. Last name guys is just being awesome. Navy says got a hoverwort. They bark. Hoverwort. They bark, but they also stay put. No running away. Well, that's very good. One of the scariest moments with my dogs is I was walking. This is back when I played Pokemon Go regularly. So I was taking them for a walk trying to hatch some eggs. For anyone that plays Pokemon Go, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so we had to end up cross the street that has like two ways with a canal in between with a bridge over the canal. So we got over the first one fine. And then as we're getting over the second one, I'm starting to readjust the leash. And as I do so, and this is when River was still a puppy. So this is before we got Willow. This is when we just had River, and she was still very, very much a young puppy. So she was prone to run and to be very excited. So as we're getting to cross the next street, and as I'm readjusting it, it slips out of my hands and she runs into the street. And I thank God every day because there were no cars nearby. There were cars like coming probably for like maybe 50 yards away. So it was definitely close and my heart started pounding and I was so scared, but luckily I was able to catch her and bring her back before anything else happened. But it was the moment when like my heart skipped a beat and I was just absolutely terrified. Let's see. Stephanie says, okay, I can tell who is in the chat. Oh, so you have that power now. You can see who's in the chat. That's awesome. So if you hit @ it shows you who's here. No alien for sure. You say that, but alien is sneaky. Alien is always sneaky. Mex says all of his followers in psychoanalysis refer to themselves as neo-Freudians or neo-analysis and have all shunned Freud for his obsession with libido. Yeah, again, I've heard about that too. Let's see. Super says I might have to get a Twitter account just to follow you. Well, please do, because again, if you get on Twitter, Greta can confirm this as well. Greta's on Twitter, but she doesn't get involved with everything. She is on there to like follow people that she wants to like hear, but she doesn't interact. So yeah, I mean, get on Twitter just to follow a few people. And yeah, sometimes you'll see pictures of my dogs. Let's see. RT says, what's everyone at for? So yeah, just put @ in and then a whole list of everyone's names will come up. Random game user says you can set up something like Foospot to give out rewards, a currency for rewarding view time, etc. Oh, random. Please contact me. Please send me a message on Twitter, direct message on Twitter, and help me figure that out because that would be freaking awesome. So thank you for that shout, and please help me because I would love to be able to have some more control over those things. Let's see. Navy Lax says the high honor of the digital cookie. Yes, it is the highest honor around. Super Anime says, "Oh sweet, I just saw you pass 900 subs. Congrats!" Yes, thank you very much. Yes, so I'm less than 100 subs away from wearing my Chewbacca onesie. So if you want to see that happen sooner rather than later, go ahead and share my channel with other people, share my videos with other people, tell them to sub. Because once we hit 1,000, I will do my entire live stream. So for this one, it's like we're over 2 hours now. So it could be a 2.5 hour live stream for all I know. And I'll be hot and sweaty with my beard and my onesie, and I'll be wearing the Chewbacca onesie. So and I'll probably show it off for you guys. So you'll do a little a little walk down the down the catwalk. Let's see. Donald says, with all this talk about cookies is making me hungry after 2 hours. I know, me too. Like every time. Last night we went on an entire tangent on like KFC and Popeyes, and I was craving biscuits. I was craving sausage biscuits, and yeah, Archie says I saw one of Random's videos. Yeah, Random's awesome. Yes. So Random says my Twitter is Random Monkey. Sorry, it doesn't match YouTube channel. Yes, Random Monkey. I follow you on Twitter. So again, just message me. So that way, just to give me a little bit of advice about how to do that. And again, check her out on YouTube as well. So again, that if you click on her profile, brings you directly to her channel. Subscribe to her channel. She is awesome. She does some really great content. Let's see. Mech says, okay, sorry. Susan Mary says, oh, and I want to see you rage out Brian Blessed style. All right, I'm going to do this. System, because you asked, I'm going to do it for you one more time. That's what I think about Brian Blessed style. If you haven't looked up Brian Blessed yet, shame on you. Yes, shame on me. RT says, no worries, Random. Things latest. Blah, 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 blah. RT says, not the stream, just the pre-done vid. Okay. Susamara says, there are some hilarious Brian Blessed highlight vids on YouTube. Let's see. Navy Lack says, my Labrador would take off all that, would take off all the time. Yeah, it's scary. It's so scary when they run. Like, there's been a couple times where we've accidentally left our gate open and they run. One, like, she'll just sit down. Like, you could just ask her to stay and she'll listen. The other one just loves to be chased, and it's terrifying, especially when there's cars coming down the streets. Let's see. RT says, I'd come to a stream, but I don't know when you do them or how often. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to? Yeah, please let me know. Yeah, definitely check her out because she is awesome. Greta says, I'll probably get more active in Twitter when I need to start promoting my career, and we will all look forward to that because you're going to do awesome. You're going to do amazing things. Tina says, I'm on Twitter, but I mainly follow travel sites, so I don't post a lot. Yeah, again, Twitter can be such a black hole of emotion that it can definitely take away so much time. But yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to follow me to see those random dog posts, go right ahead. Mex says, my instructors have informed me that I should not go into psychology because I am neither compassionate, patient, or politically correct, but mostly because I'm not politically correct. Yeah, in that profession, it seems like it might hurt you. RD says, when you get that Star Wars edition, yes, absolutely. Greta's got to get that Star Wars edition. It's going to be awesome. Hudson says, oh, hot tea and cookies. That's delightful. MX says, so getting back on track here. What have I missed? So much. Sammy says 900 with the crown. Artie says Chewbacca onesie streaming live from Popeyes. Yes, so that's when we hit 5K. When we hit 5K, that's when not only do I do a live stream in my Chewbacca onesie, but I also do a live stream from Popeyes. But I'm gonna have to pick mine wisely because I could get hurt if I don't pick wisely. Navy says, will you be ass inside the Chewy suit? No, I'll have clothes on. I probably should because it'll be more comfortable, but for my own sake, I think I'll have some clothes on, at least underwear. Let's see. It'll happen, says RT. Well, thank you very much. RT says Brian Blessed is in the very first series of Blackadder Odin. All right, good to know. Tina says Brian Blessed is in the first. Okay, awesome. Great. That was a good boss, Nas, from episode 1. Sammy B says, dogs running off, woo, scary stuff. It is so scary. It is so damn scary, especially when they're puppies and they're so cute. And you're like, no, don't run away from me, please. Great minds think alike. Absolutely. Gonna watch you on the big screen, says 70B for Greta. Absolutely correct. Mech says, that's not how you imitate Brian Blessed. You need to mimic his high laugh, not the jolly blubbering he did for the Phantom Menace. That's what I did. Again, I don't know his high laugh yet. So all I can do is the Phantom Menace. Gotta head out. Well, Donald Hudson, we are about to head out too because it is getting a little bit late for me. So it says good night. So have a good night, Don Hudson. Good night, Don. Rosika Theoscrats on 900 plus subs. Mex says thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Navy Lag says Bear ass when you hit 10,000 subs inside the Chewy suit. Yes, inside the. Remind me of that. 10,000 inside it. I'll watch some tea cookies for you, said Mary. Said there's a hilarious bit of Brian Blessed telling stories about beating up Peter O'Toole and shouting at hilarious. Nice. Let's see. Super says we'll spare you as long as you're in the parking lot, in the car, in your Chewy onesie. You're good. Okay. Yeah. I can do that. I think I could get away with that for sure. Let's see. RT says watch Blackadder and you'll know Brian's laugh. Okay, I will do that. Again, it's on my list now. Susan Mara says an hilarious one of him telling a child swearing at a woman when he was a child. It sounds amazing. So I really can't wait to watch that series. But there's so many things I need to watch. I really want to finish Luke Cage before I get into any other series. That's for sure. All right, so the chat seems to be caught up. We've been going for 2 hours, a little over 2 hours now. So I think we're going to start to wrap things up. So let's see if we have any last minute comments before we say our official goodbyes. So see, Tina says, did you see Brian Blessed at Caesar Augustus? I don't know what that means. All right. Caught up. Yes, indeed. I am caught up. And I do feel like there is definitely a delay between when I say something and when the chat hears it, because I know that happens a lot where I say something and then all of a sudden Navy says, gotta go as well. See you later. Well, again, we're about to end it. So I think everyone's about to go. So let's go ahead and end this stream right now. So go ahead and put your goodbyes for everyone in the stream right now. And we will say our goodbyes to everybody. So Navy, have a good night. Thank you so much for joining us once again. RTE, same to you. Let's see. Sumer said, heard conflicting things about Luke Cage. Thoughts real quick. Yes, real quick thoughts on Luke Cage. So I like certain parts of it for sure. I'm not a big fan of the language. I'm not a big fan of some of the references. There's been a mention to an Obama in every episode so far, and I'm 3 episodes in. I don't get that. I don't connect with that at all. So I'm not a huge fan of that. So, but overall, it's okay so far. Heck of a lot better than anything that Jessica Jones has done for sure. So I'll let y'all know that when I finish that series and what my overall thoughts are on it. Let's see. I, Claudius is a BBC series set in ancient Rome. Catch it? Maybe. Oh my goodness, so many things to watch. Good night. Made in the 70s. Okay, great. Awesome. RGs, I only just got here. I'm so sorry, but we've already been streaming for over 2 hours, and I do have work in the morning, so I want to make sure I'm able to get to bed. And also, I got to make sure my dogs don't bark because, I might have to punch out my neighbor. Let's see. I only just got here. Random users, you can lower your chat delay as well. Oh my goodness. Yes, Random, please contact me on Twitter so that way you can help me troubleshoot that. Thank you so much. See you, Steph. Bye, everyone. Night, everyone. Y'all stay safe. Absolutely. Tina says, good night, everyone. Thanks for making me a Valkyrie. No, you earned that. You are amazing, Tina. Every single night so far, you've been amazing. So thank you so much. You earned it. So thank you for being a member of my Valkyrie. Let's see. Ready to burst out in the Hoja Hoja song from Opera. Good night, Greta. Yes, absolutely. Good night, Greta. And also, okay, Stephanie B says to have teach her as well. Absolutely. Well, that's a good night, folks. Thanks for the chat as always. Thank you, last night again. Thanks for joining. Glad I could catch the last of the stream. Look forward to another one. Have a great night, Odin. Yes, I plan on being on tomorrow, so please set your clock there for that. It's gonna be around 8 o'clock. Again, I will post it on Twitter, but I will also create an event on YouTube as well. Good night, Stephanie. Lord Nurgle. Thank you for joining us once again. Thank you very much. Night, people. Good night, RTE. Good night. System Error says, by Odin's beard, I bid you all sweet dreams. Yes, System Error, you are on your way to being a member of the Valkyrie. So thank you very much. You're awesome. Beardy dreams too. I love you, man. Meg says, thoughts about Marvel not really putting forth an effort on marketing Captain America. Yeah, just really quick. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I really hope that they do that right, though, because it's going to be great. Let's see. Odin's Blue Vlog says, when is the Low Council? So much to watch Tuesday night. I know. So, yeah, I will probably, again, I'm going to figure that out tomorrow after work, probably. I'll have a time set, and it'll probably be earlier, so that way everyone else can catch the High Council. Or if I can't, I'll have I'll work with what I can on the Low Council. But definitely have a Low Council tomorrow instead of Welcome to Asgard. Let's see. Beardy dreams, more pencil beard mechs. Absolutely, we'll have more pencil beard tomorrow for sure. Your watch has ended. Yes, thank you very much, 70B. You are amazing. Everyone's so amazing. All right, 70B saying goodbye to everyone. So have a great day, everybody, or rather, have a great night, everybody. I love y'all so much. It means so much to me that y'all have stuck with me for this long, for 2 hours, like 3 or 4 nights in a row. Y'all are rock stars. I love every single one of y'all. every single one of y'all that's still in the chat right now, you all get a digital cookie. So if you've never gotten one before, you now have one. So thank y'all very much for joining. Have a great day. And as always, God bless.